evening and welcome to tonight's NACE Star League broadcast. Coming to you from the brand spanking new, fresh from the dealership, still has that new studio smell, NACE Star League studio. And we're here today ready to bring you 4 exciting collegiate Rocket League matches. I'm your host, Jacob Gem Palmer, joined by Artemis Nerdy Bird Rain to call all of the action for you here tonight. Nardi, what a fantastic night to start out the NACE Star League season, because I'm told we have some rivalries playing tonight.
Most of them are rivalries. And if you're going to set up a bracket and you know that there's some teams that are just kind of always out to get each other, why not make them post up day one? Throw down the gauntlet out the gate, play the hardest you possibly can, and set the bar for performance extremely high for everyone else going forward for the remainder of the season. I think it's perfect. For others, maybe your mental fortitude might be a recipe for disaster, but at the end of the day, it is going to be a fabulous day for Rocket League.
But you don't just have to take our words for it. Let's take a look at the actual schedule coming out to you here tonight so we can see what teams are competing and when. We can take a look at our first matchup of the night. We've got Shenandoah going up against George Mason University, followed by Lackawanna versus Harrisburg. So these first two are kind of the real huge rivalries that I'm excited to see.
And then rounding out the second half of our Rocket League night will be Missouri State taking on Wichita State, followed by Colorado College and North Dakota State at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you stick around for all 4 of these matches because they are sure to excite.
Hey, I'm just so excited that the season is starting. We're one of the few people who can say, thank goodness the school season has started again, because now we can see all these exciting collegiate matches, starting off with Shenandoah versus George Mason. And speaking of that match, let's take a look at the lineups that we have for each team, what individual players we're going to be cheering on throughout the course of this first best of 5. We've got Mango, Kiazi, and Eliminate playing for Shenandoah.
And for George Mason, the Patriots will have Elite KV, Shank, and Perks rounding out that starting roster when they hit the pitch tonight.
All right, we've got the players, we've got the teams, we've got the virtual field all set up. The only thing that we have left to talk about is strategy. And I think since this is kind of the first match of the season, we can kind of go over those Rocket League fundamentals that we will be referring to throughout all of the season. What do you got for us in that line?
Let's hit the top 3. Know who's taking kickoff. Rotate to the back post quickly. Do not double commit.
Yeah, yep. I mean, that's one of those things that's easier said than done. It's kind of like saying just click heads if you're playing a shooter game. But it really is true. You got to make sure you're communicating and cooperating with your team at your fullest potential as we're ready to head down the Hornets versus the Patriots. Who is going to take the first victory of the NACE Star League Fall 2023 season? And of course, those are kind of the 3 main ones that we're going to want to talk about as we start the match tonight. We got Shenandoah in blue, George Mason in green, and already Shenandoah putting a lot of pressure on the Patriots.
Unfortunately, the shot was just a little too high and wide. It's still in the defensive third for the side of the Patriots. It's yet to be fully cleared out. It does hit the midline, unfortunately, for the side of George Mason. Eliminate will prevent it from fully crossing into defensive third for Shenandoah, as will Kazi. However, Mango trying to corral it, flicks it forward, has to beat out Shank for possession. It's spiked towards the ceiling, drops back down in George Mason territory.
Now with Shenandoah having to push a bit of defense, they're going to at least push it toward the midfield mark as Elite pushes it back toward their back corner. Mango now trying to find out who's he going to pass it to. There's really no one on the field. He has to go 2-1. It's back towards Shenandoah's goal. Can they find a big clear? They're all kind of bunched up in the same quadrant. It's going to make passing down the field just a little bit more difficult. Mango picks up on the boost. We have a demo onto Kiazi. Is that going to lead into a goal? Not quite.
We have a triple commit on the goal line from Shenandoah. Pays off, but a Mango punish. Shank tries to push the ball into the net, does not find the opportunity. Perks also demos one of the defenders for Shenandoah. Ball is dwindling at the midfield stripe. We have a give and go that does not connect. Shank trying to rekindle an opportunity for their team. Brings it into the mid. We have the follow-up touch, and it's too wide. A tertiary touch from Perp will find the back of the net.
And that is the first goal of the season in the books. A wonderful follow-up by Perk. Fortunately for Shenandoah, 2 of their people, no one was rotating toward back post for a follow-up, so that left it wide open for the Patriots. 1-0, 3 minutes, 30 seconds left.
It's really when you hit that 2-goal differential at the 2.5-minute mark that your problems start to get a little bit sweaty. So Shenandoah has time to catch up and figure out what went wrong. They have the ball in the defensive third for George Mason right now. Eliminate looks for an opportunity to keep it here in that defensive third. It ends up going across over towards Kazi and dropping down off the ceiling. 2-on-1. George Mason looking for an opportunity to gain possession, but Mango steals it away, shoots it towards the net, touch from Eliminate, and it's cleared to the side.
Shenandoah, having found a bit of footing, might be able to put a lot more pressure onto the Patriots. It's going to head as the follow-up is denied by Shank. Spikes it high up into the air. Mango is going to try to set it up for a teammate, but George Mason is able to get to it beforehand. Elite trying to find a clear. He's going to get a demo for his troubles. Kiasi takes it to the goal under Shank.
Now we are tied 1 aside, nearly at the halfway mark. So you can say we have half a game left, but when you're tied 0-0, we're back at the very beginning. So now the question is, who's going to find 1 goal plus the extra, put themselves in the lead with just under 3 minutes remaining on that clock?
Basically reset it to a half-length game at this point. Ball's going to go slightly over towards Shenandoah. Shank trying to set something up for Perks. Take the shot on goal. Lower left corner saved by Kiazi. Shenandoah is just fighting to keep this game tied. Trying to find a clear, something that's evaded them in the past. And another follow-up. Double commit to save. And the ball's just a bit too high for that to turn into a goal.
2 back-to-back double commits on saves from Shenandoah, going unpunished by George Mason. George Mason, though, after those saves, has prevented this ball from crossing into their own territory. Another shot on goal, hits the top crossbar, but the follow-up is clean, and that's goal number 2 for George Mason.
You can see a little bit of struggling with the positioning here for Shenandoah. There's no one really kind of going in toward the ball. Everyone's chasing after it into the goal. So even if they manage to make contact with the ball, it's going to be very difficult for them to find an angle so that it doesn't go in.
George Mason can't feel too confident yet with 2 minutes left remaining and only leading by 1. There's plenty of opportunity here for Shenandoah to find the back of the net. Mango with possession has little pressure, but the ball does get saved and sent to the side off of Mango's shot. Eliminate comes in, tries to set up another opportunity, can't find it. Instead, Perks plays it around 2. Mango swoops back to the defensive half of the field and just spikes the ball up, but it's not out of the defensive third for Shenandoah yet. Right in front of the goal. Big shot is going to be sent to the side.
Looking to try to find an equalizer, a redirect from the Patriots. There isn't going to be a follow-up on that one. Look at this dribble, this hero play by Mango to tie it up. 1.5 minutes left. Wow, that is insane. Perks comes in, a valiant play to try to save it, but it just gets spiked down into the ground, and now we're tied up again.
Now you have less than half of this game to find 1 goal. We've had 4 thus far, 2 aside. Plenty of opportunities for someone to find the back of the net. Mango is hungry for that shot on goal. Tries to take it, but is going to be sent away. Now Shank goes for the cross-map opportunity, dribbles it, and we have another double commit. Mango will make contact with the save. A follow-up double commit brings the ball to the midfield. Centered up in front of George Mason's goal. It does not drop down to any Shenandoah players. We have another save in front of the Shenandoah net as we tick down to the 1 minute remaining. Both teams looking for 1 goal here to put themselves in the lead.
With just a little under a minute left, George Mason, the Patriots, trying to find their winning goal. They're going to get pushed off in toward the far corner. Now Mango might be trying to pass to Eliminathan, but it goes Shank instead. Now Perks moving up the passing lane. He also got a lead hanging way back on the field, but it's going to be Perks who finds the goal, a hat trick. All 3 goals going over him.
33 seconds left in this first game of this best of 5 series. While there is a differential in score, it's not enough for anyone to say they've clearly got this game in the bag. Shenandoah can't take these 32 seconds to find a goal. Mango takes the kickoff. It's going to be Eliminathan to pop it up at midfield, but cannot find the path to get to the ball. We have Elite knock it down, send it to their teammate. It's going to be in the corner. So a defensive third. 2-on-1. Eliminate tries to take another shot. Follow-up touch from the teammate. Does not make full contact. And Shake actually almost centers it across the midfield stripe. Back in defensive third for George Mason. Shenandoah University on the attack. They have 6 seconds to find a goal or they lose game 1.
As long as that ball stays in the air, we will have this round keep on going. A little bit of hope for Shenandoah, but not now. If the Patriots have it instead, will that ball hit the ground? Can Shenandoah keep their hopes alive for game 1? A spike down into the ground is going to end it. So a nice start for the Patriots. George Mason, I mean, look at Perks in terms of the shots on goal. I mean, it is all him in terms of the offense for George Mason. So that leads to a situation where we kind of have a player with a target on their back.
I also would say that Mango might have a target on their back as well. They are the one that scored both goals for the side of Shenandoah, and so when you're that goal maker, you might spend a lot of time on the respawn screen. Some people will throw shame at this strategy, but of course I encourage it. Any time I see a player starting to do it, I say finish it out, send it to the respawn screen. If they get frustrated, they can cope with it. But with that being said, if there's one player on each side with an X on their back, then you're fine. It's a 2-2 game at that point.
It also seems that Shenandoah is a team that really can put on a lot of pressure when they're already kind of have that side control. But if they're back defending, we've seen, especially in the first half of the game, a lot of struggling from the Hornets to find a clear when they're getting pressured by the Patriots. So might be something that we'll have a look out on these next few games to see if it is improved going forward. But here we go into game 2. The Patriots lead by 1. Ready to head back on down to the virtual field with all of the geometric shapes cheering on each of the teams. Do you think George Mason, who do you think is going to score the first goal? Is what I would say.
I think it's going to be Mango. I'm calling out a player straight up. I think it'll be Mango.
It was Mango who kind of made that solo play all the way back from their own half. So if there's one player to kind of turn it around in favor of Shenandoah, I would be looking for Mango. Here we go, the first kickoff. Kiasi is going to have their shot denied by a lead. Already a shot on goal is placed onto Shenandoah. The Patriots letting them know that if Shenandoah wants to get back into this match, it is not going to come easy.
Ball is in the defensive third, still for and as I'm saying that, Elite finds goal number 1, so my prediction was absolutely wrong. I needed to say side, and the side was even wrong. If I had Mango is on Shenandoah, yeah, word. Control at the Elite, my prediction of your memory, please. It never happened.
Less than 30 seconds into the second match, and George Mason already toward a lead. That's a nice kickoff victory by Shenandoah. At side control, once they get it, they're a force to be reckoned with. As I say that, Mango pushes a shot onto goal, just barely denied by the Patriots. Shenandoah can keep this from going across the midfield marker. I'd say we have a good chance at a tied game, but this could mean trouble.
Thankfully, I really thought that pinch was going to go into the back of the net, which would have been unfortunate for Shenandoah. They did manage to make the save. Ball is going to spike towards the ceiling, back down at midfield stripe. Shank will clear it and eliminate. Will spike it up. It's still inside defensive third for Shenandoah. Again, Shank with the give and go to Elite. Elite, not a lot of forward momentum, loses out on possession. That's going to be Kiasi pushing forward, has Shank putting pressure, and tries to play it around Shank, can't quite get it away. It looks like George Mason will have the opportunity to bring this ball forward back into defensive third Shenandoah territory.
Mango playing around Perk, pushing a shot toward the goal. It's denied by Elite, way over to the other side of the field. Kiasi elevating up, trying to get it toward before the Patriots can. Perks curves a shot onto the backboard. There's going to be a demo onto Eliminathan, living up to his name. Unfortunately, not the side he was focused. Side he was hoping. So now can Shenandoah be able to regain composure and be able to find a clear?
Mango has possession, collides with Elite. Stalemate that results in Elite actually managing to get possession for a moment, but instead Shank will elevate, has the opportunity for a give and go, tries to spike it down to Perks, is unsuccessful. Eliminathan sends the ball into the corner, can't find connection with their teammate. Mango cuts back into the passing lane, stealing the ball away from Shank, takes the shot, and will be saved by George Mason.
We're about halfway into this match, getting close to that 2-minute 30-second marker. And the Hornets have managed to keep the Patriots to only 1 goal. Nathan or Kiasi is going to be the follow-up to this shot. There's 3 in front of the goal for George Mason. Bit of a triple commit, but it does form a wall to keep that shot at bay. And Shenandoah is trying to find some sort of follow-up shot. Can Mango play around Elite? And then another, no! George Mason is going to be basically an iron brick wall, a wall with iron and brick that you just can't get through for the Hornets.
Eliminathan is going to look for an opportunity for the Hornets. Tries to spike it to Mango, is unsuccessful. Kiazi comes in for the tertiary follow-up, and again, it's going to be sent right back into Shenandoah territory. Mango goes for the challenge against Elite, is unsuccessful, but Eliminathan comes in, manages to dodge Perks. It gets clear to the midfield stripe, drops to Mango. Mango takes the shot, but it is saved at the last second, sent right back to the midfield.
Patriots are so good at getting around the field extremely fast, so even if it seems like Shenandoah has a shot on an open goal, there's always someone from George Mason's ready to rotate in. Shot off the front post, looked like it might be another goal for the Patriots, but now the Hornets are fighting back. The follow-up for Eliminathan. Mango tries to redirect, and all three get in on the action for that equalizer.
Off that top crossbar. When you don't have backboard defense, we didn't touch on it in our, things to think about, but core mechanics, there's got to be someone on that backboard. Instead, we're having double and triple commits, so you leave that open, comes off the crossbar. It's a give and go from the game. Now we go into the next kickoff, and it looks like it's going to be Shank. He's challenging Kiazi. Shank manages to win it out. Unfortunately, loses possession to Mango in the corner.
Ball is high and in the center, a whiff from George Mason. Shenandoah isn't going to take initiative on that one. Instead, they'll wait for it to come back to their corner. Perk trying to play around Shenandoah. The elevation by elimination is going to push it all the way back to the front corner for George Mason. The ball is kind of back and forth. George Mason being very quick on those clears. And now the follow-up. I like the demo in the goal to clear it out, but the ball is deflected by Shenandoah to keep this game tied.
We're almost the 1 minute mark with one goal per team. It's 1-1-1. Can someone change the digits here and put their team in the lead? It's going to be Eliminathan to put Shank out of the way. Not demoing, but we have a demo on Mango instead. Ball is volleyed across, hits the back wall. It ricochets down off the ceiling to Perks. It is going to go end up with Eliminathan, who can't gain control of it. Instead, Perks carries it forward. It's down in the defensive third. Shenandoah has possession crossing midfield stripe.
30 seconds left, and we could have the deciding goal, but it is deflected by Shank at the last possible moment. Perk, shot on goal. Can Mango get there? Yes, he can. Now the ball's back in midfield, up for grabs in anyone's game. Shank tries to redirect, is going to get a whole bunch of altitude off of it. It's Eliminathan going, and Mango is denied in that 50. Perks gets to it first, and now with just 14 seconds left on the timer, I think we might be going into our first overtime.
First overtime of the season, and it is just game 2 of our first game of the night. Should speak volumes, so maybe I just cast or cursed it, maybe I didn't. Off the back wall, we have Perks, send it to midfield stripe, it gets spiked up. This ball hits the ground, that's it. We're going into overtime. It does get spiked down. Let's see who finds the first golden goal.
This kickoff is going to be very important. Shank gets the better contact on it. And is now going to set the ball up for Perk. It could be a very short overtime. Kiazi rotating in with a save, and is now going to try to carry that into a goal opportunity for Shenandoah. And there it is. Eliminathan gets the goal for Shenandoah, and we got a tied series.
So now we are at the Rocket League Classic best of 3.
Yes. Oh man, that was all down to the defender, but he whipped on it, just didn't quite make contact with the ball. Eliminathan was just waiting in the wings to put the Hornets back into the mix. Oh boy, and this is, I'm glad we have such a competitive game to start it out, because I was, you're always nervous, especially when you saw a player like Perks who just had so much to his name. But the thing I like about Shenandoah is that all of the achievements are kind of really spread out among them, and that's how you know the team is communicating with each other, trying to make sure that every single player is playing a role in the greater strategy.
The one thing I also really liked to see was the fact that game 1 was a little bit rough on both sides. Game 2 started a little bit rough as well. However, as we progressed through that game 2, you could see some of the cobwebs get shaken out. The grease was reapplied to the gears. There's definitely things that were improving. We finally saw people actually feeling comfortable with more aerial play. And there was, as I was mentioning, the backboard defense, it finally started to happen. However, that one breakaway in overtime, it can be a fabulous moment if it's you scoring the goal, or it can be a gosh darn it if it was you who pushed too far forward. And of course, that's just something you got to fix with VOD review in time.
I gotta say, probably my favorite goal. I don't know who's gonna win this match, but at the end of the day, I think my favorite goal was gonna be from Shenandoah, the one that all 3 team members got in. I thought it might have been a redirect gone wrong at first, but then when I saw the 3rd teammate coming in, it's like, oh, this was all according to plan. And it's beautiful to see something like that come to fruition. So here we go. Game 3, we're all tied up. Neither team showing too much weakness. They seem very evenly matched. So who is going to take the victory in our regional rivalry? Is it going to be the Hornets or the Patriots? We're into game 3.
Yazzie brought the ball into the defensive third for George Mason. Unfortunately, sent back to midfield stripe. A back pass from Elite. Attempted to give it to Perks. Mango plays for disruption, allowing Yazzie to push it back to midfield stripe. Shank rotating to back post, grabbing the Mega Boost in the corner. Perks now taking over Shank's place as we have Elite cherry picking in a 2-on-1 situation. Mango will get the ball to midfield stripe and has Eliminathan waiting for them in the wings. Will we see the pass? But Mango stalls out. It is a fake out. Eliminathan pops the ball up over the net.
Yazzie now coming in with a shot on the goal, but it's slow and high, and Shank is going to just push it off to the other side of the field. Now Mango comes in. It's stolen once away by Shank. He's disrupting a lot of these plays, and Perks just holding in there as the goalie. He's going to get a successful save, but another shot by Shenandoah is going to go off the crossbar. Shenandoah has been the ones that's just been pushing shot after shot on goal.
We have Mango go for the challenge on Perks, attempt to take a shot. It was too far forward, so Game didn't even give Perks credit. Ball is in the corner. Opportunity for Perks to find a corral. Cannot get it. It's back to midfield stripe. Mango elevates, has Shank beneath them, dunks the ball down. It does get saved and sent over into the corner. Shenandoah not giving up on this goal-scoring opportunity just yet, but the ball is crossing midfield stripe back in their territory. Yazzie corralling it in the corner, tries to bring it around. Elite can't quite make it, but the ball does end up in the defensive third for George Mason.
Yazzie is going to be followed up by Eliminathan, and just by pure force, that one goes in. One of the team members of the Patriots is just hanging out in the goal. You see Perks right here. He's going to try to body block it, but it goes off his hood and still has enough forward momentum to find a way in. So Shenandoah now up 1-0.
Kickoff does not favor either team. We have almost a double commit to get the ball across midfield by Shenandoah. It ends up in their defensive third. Mango volleys it. It crosses midfield stripe, drops into the defensive third for George Mason. Mango is there, has possession taken away by Perks. Yazzie waiting on midfield stripe, will back up, is going to challenge Perks. It's pinched towards the ceiling, drops down in front of their net. A demo onto Mango from Shanks, but the ball is cleared.
Well, if you're going to get demoed, at least have the shot that you were wanting to go through to save. It still goes through for Mango, so it buys enough time for Shenandoah to get back on their feet and get back some side control. Attempted clear is going to be brought by Shank. Elevation up by Mango to stop it, but Shank just plays over him. Eliminathan tries to deflect it. It is going to be just enough for Yazzie to push it back toward midfield. We're still in that situation where anyone could take possession of this ball. Now halfway through game 3, 2 minutes, 30 seconds in the bank. We've got 2:30 to go.
Mango elevates, doesn't get high enough. It is going to be Elite who makes contact with the ball. Ball's cleared to midfield stripe. It's going to be Shank. Centers it up, but Yazzie off the back wall. Sends it to Mango. The rebound off the wall, unfortunately, goes to Perks. Shot on net. And from Perks and Shank, back-to-back. Both do not make it in. We're not touched by defenders. Ball ends up back at the midfield stripe. Eliminathan giving Mango the opportunity to take the shot that they want. Perks makes the first save. Eliminathan comes in with the follow-up, but the angle's not right, and it was deflected back towards Shenandoah's goal.
Shenandoah, Yazzie pushes the shot, but it's to no teammate. Instead, it's to Shank, and he's been the one to turn things around for George Mason in terms of possession. So they're going to maintain side control. Yazzie's going to try again. Now gets the pass over elimination. Nathan Mango, shot on goal, saved by Shank. George Mason is always pretty good about having one person in front of that goal. In fact, both teams have really improved on the rotations back toward goal to make sure there's never an open shot.
Ball at midfield stripe 50-50 goes in favor of George Mason. Yazzie finds a clear, but it is going to be stopped at the midfield stripe. Mango drops the ball down, does not find a complete clear. It's still in front of their net. That's 2 back-to-back saves by Mango. Now pushing forward, crossing midfield stripe. Their opportunity is thwarted by George Mason right at that line as we tick down to the 1 minute remaining. George Mason desperately looking for an opportunity to find one goal. Shenandoah needs to find one more to secure this Game 3 victory.
Will Shenandoah be able to turn the match around completely and be able to get themselves to match point? There's less than a minute for them to hold on to their small lead. But it is a lead nonetheless. Now Mango trying to start the clear, runs right into one of the Patriots. Eliminathan keeps the play going, shot down low into the left, and Perks is going to be able to rotate back toward the goal to save. Now we have half a minute left. Can Shenandoah score an insurance goal to secure their win, or will George Mason tie it up for another overtime?
As you said that, I really thought we almost witnessed an overcommit. Thankfully, Shenandoah cut into the passing lane, stole the ball away. Mango's going to ricochet the ball down off the ceiling. Kiazi tries to get a nose on it, just barely does, but their shot on goal is saved. Back to midfield stripe, Kiazi elevates. There's no time left on the clock. Ball hits the ground. Shenandoah is going to be winning Game 3, putting themselves at the series point.
Not only do they lead in shots on goal, but if you notice kind of in the first minute, they were the only ones who had any credited shot on goal. They basically owned the first 2 minutes in terms of possession. So I think they're a team that can really get off the kickoff really fast, and if they win it, and once they get possession, it's very difficult for the Patriots to wrangle it back from them. But one thing, I said it, and I'll just say it one more time because I think this is probably one of the most important things, is that I love how both teams are rotating back and communicating when a shot is going through onto the goal. We aren't seeing open goals being scored.
We're not seeing open goals, and the number of triple commits has drastically decreased from game number 1. So far, very satisfied with what we've seen. However, George Mason, they got to show up. It's time to tee off here, so to speak, because if they don't win this next game, that's it. They're done. Their first game of the season, over with, and they're tossing it over Shenandoah.
It's their last chance, and whoever is going to win this is going to be setting the tone for the rest of the night and the rest of the season, basically. You want to make sure you get that opening win to say, hey, we are here, we've done our homework, we've done our practice, we are here to play. Will it be the Hornets or the Patriots to claim victory? We've got match point coming up. Hornets just need one more to win this best of 5. We head back down to the field. The kickoff is ready to go. I said if the Hornets manage to win this first kickoff, I think the Patriots are going to have a tough time defending. So it's all going to come down to who gets this first kickoff, and they're fighting in midfield furiously for it. It's going to go back towards Shenandoah's own goal. Shank's going to try. Oh, he whiffs on that when he goes over, and that allows Shenandoah to gain back territory and get side control back to themselves.
Kiazi takes the first shot. It is going to be saved by Elite. Not cleared out yet. Shank trying to find it, but is getting bodied away off the ball by Eliminathan. Seems like Shenandoah is choosing to take the if I don't get possession, you don't either route, as Eliminathan brings the ball down and touches the back wall. Accidental redirect by their own teammate on the rebound. Results in no shot on net. Shank off the wall, sends it to the backboard for Shenandoah. It is going to be passed back to their own teammate, but there's no follow-up on net.
First minute might just be scoreless. Shot going to be gaining back a lot of territory for Shenandoah. Eliminathan comes in to contest. He pushes it up high. Shank elevates up to pass it to Perks, and it's stolen by Kiazi at the very last moment. Looks like no one was expecting that. The ball flew past everyone, but it wasn't quite aimed on goal, so it's going to give enough time for the Patriots to regroup and find another save against Shenandoah.
Mango in the corner. Makes contact, sends it to Kiazi. Kiazi sends it back to Mango. Mango has 2 to beat, and it looks like Shank will steal the ball away first. Slowing down, Perks clears the ball, but doesn't get it all the way to midfield. It dunks down, goes up to Eliminathan. Eliminathan has the possession stolen away. Kiazi in the air, steals it right back as there's a demo onto one of the George Mason members, and ball is a defensive third for Shenandoah.
Mango plays off the wall, but Elite is ready to intercept his shot, and Shank elevates up way before Kiazi to win that face-off. But they're having a bit of time. I mean, they're able to place it in front of the goal, but it's just that follow-up shot to secure it that has evaded George Mason and Shenandoah for the duration of this game. We're now 2 minutes in. Shank, a shot quick down. It's off of the crossbar. However, everyone's favorite defender, Shenandoah, still is tied.
Ball at midfield, crosses into George Mason's defensive area. Mango looking for a touch, finds it. There's a demo into Eliminathan, though. The person that was supposed to be the give and go. So Kiazi comes from mid, takes the shot. There's 3 in the goal. They were corralled, they were bunched up. Eliminathan off respawn, almost gets the opportunity for a shot on goal, but it is stolen away and tossed in mid-flight by George Mason.
Perks is going to be able to juke out one player. It has to go to Mango to keep it from going past midfield. Another save is going to go into George Mason's column. In fact, Elite has 3 saves so far this game. He's really been a key defensive force for keeping the Patriots in the running. Kiazi now trying to find, who am I going to pass to? I'm going to pass it to both the Mango and Eliminathan. Actually, it looked like it might have been a double commit on that pass. Put Shenandoah into a bit of a tricky situation for the next few seconds. They are able to recover, and now we'll see if they can set up another goal as Mango trying to push it fast, but Perks is there in front of the goal and gets another save for the Patriots.
Kiazi clears the ball, it hits midfield. Mango takes a shot, double commit is successful and goes unpunished as Mango's in a 2-on-1, tries to bring the ball down off the ceiling, takes another shot, it's gonna be Shank to make the save. Eliminathan and Perks both elevate in the 50-50. Neither win. Shank comes in to be the saving grace for George Mason, clearing it into the defensive third for Shenandoah. Ball in the air again. Another 50-50. No one wins out. Eliminathan from the back line comes forward, takes the shot. It goes to the back wall, George Mason's side of the field.
Mango, a rotation back to keep that off to the side of the field where Shenandoah can set up a clear. Nice push toward Kiazi to get a whole bunch of territory back. He's going to try to center it up, but is unsuccessful in that elimination. And Nathan now rotating in to go up against Perks. He's able to get the first touch on the ball. Now Mango trying to play around Shank. We are less than a minute. We have less than a minute remaining in this match, and Shenandoah is still trying to find that one goal that could win them the whole match.
George Mason is looking for the one goal that will keep them alive in this series. That was a scary situation. 50-50 favors the side of George Mason, popped up by Eliminathan just to go above the net, cleared to the side. Mango makes contact. It's still here in Shenandoah territory. This blue team needs to find it clear. They get it. It goes to midfield, drops down to Shank, who gives it to Perks. Right now, George Mason has 15 seconds to find a goal, or we go to overtime, where Shenandoah has already proved they perform well under pressure.
8 seconds left, and the ball could stay in the air, could have a buzzer beater. Kiazi tries to save it, but it goes into the goal anyway. Perks is going to be credited with it. We're going all the way to game 5. Oh man, that was so split second, and one of those moments where you can't beat yourself up for going in for the save because the ball's going to go in anyway. But I think unless we see a kickoff goal from Shenandoah or a buzzer beater right here, right now, we're going to be going to the final possible game of our opening match.
Well, that's one heck of a way to kick off an entire evening with a full 5-game series. Now, one of them went golden goal. This one nearly went golden goal. We were 4 seconds off of having to go into overtime. Theoretically, it's game 5 with how close these teams are now compared to game number 1. We probably can't see another overtime on game 5.
One thing I notice about George Mason, the Patriots, is that we're kind of seeing a little bit of a difference in how a lot of the saves are gotten in this game. George Mason usually has one person that's like one or sometimes multiple people who are like dedicated, I'm in front of the goal, I'm going to get every shot. Whereas I think we see Shenandoah a little bit more mobile in how they save. We're seeing a lot more people coming in from the sides on their rotations to push it off into the corner so the team can regroup.
Shenandoah, I agree with you, but the issue is that the elevations from these players are happening at the same time. And while it hasn't yet come to be their Achilles heel, it might in this next round if it's been recognized by the Patriots. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it hasn't been, or hopefully it gets fixed. However, they've got 5 minutes to lay it all down on the turf and leave it there and set the precedent for the remainder of the season.
And a lot of the 50s during the games that we're seeing are being decided by, a very split-second decision of who elevates up first. It's kind of been a reaction time almost, because we've had so many of these 50s very close to ground, not like very high up in the air where maybe acrobatics or getting a flip reset can help get you into a better position. It's been who's going to jump up first and hit that ball, and it just shows how close these teams are evenly matched in terms of their gameplay speed, their reaction time, and overall skill. So here we go. We're heading into game number 5 to decide it all. Will it be the Hornets or the Patriots? Kickoff is in progress right now. It looks like off of that kickoff, George Mason got a bit of territory. Then a shot on goal, too. What a turnaround from the last game. It took forever for the goal to be scored. But now in this game, the Patriots have found a goal in the first half minute. It hasn't even been 30 seconds. So they're putting the Hornets on notice. Can Shenandoah get back into the game based on what we've seen all this match? And I'm sure that they can.
You mentioned before that if George Mason wins the kickoff, Shenandoah is going to be scrambling to recover, and they definitely were not ready for George Mason to strike as quickly as they did. Khazi elevates midfield, does not have the opportunity to pass to a teammate. Instead, Shank pushes it to the back wall of Shenandoah territory. It's in a 2-on-1. Perks eliminates Mango. Mango is down for the next 2 seconds. This is an opportunity for, never mind George Mason. Ball is inside your territory now, and Mango off respawn said, yeah, I'm gonna pay you back for that one with a goal.
Not even a minute in, and we're already tied at 1 apiece, and you can see the Patriots just caught in an awkward situation. There were 2 chasing out the goal. Perks was coming in on the back post, but was just a second too late. Couldn't even elevate up to try to save it. So nice play by Shenandoah. They're back in the mix.
Ball pinched off the wall, 50-50 favors no one. Drops down, ends up with Shank off of elimination shot. Shank clears it to midfield. Khazi tries to stop the shot on goal. Instead, there's a give and go. Double commit save. Ends up sending the ball back into George Mason territory. 1-on-1 between Mango and Shanks. Shanks sends the ball to Perks. Perks tosses it back to Mango. Elimination comes in and fakes out the defenders. You'll see it here in the replay. Elimination manages to just shoot the ball straight at the ground. There was an anticipated pop-up. It didn't happen. Bottom left corner. Second goal to Shenandoah.
Now we have 3 3/4 minutes left in the proceedings, and we haven't really seen any team lead by much more than 1. I think there might have been a situation in maybe the first game where there was more than a 1-goal lead, but both teams have been able to answer each other just as I say it. George Mason brings it back to a tie, and that just proves my point even more.
Truly, this felt like these teams were trying to test the waters too heavily in the first 4 matches, because they're going so back and forth now in comparison to what we saw earlier.
Elite with a nice position, a nice cheat off the kickoff to be able to get a very nice positioning for the Patriots. But look out for Mango. He's taken it once to the goal. He can do it again. It's going to be blocked by Perks. And now once again, Shenandoah is going to have to try to find a clear. And a demo is going to be pushed onto Eliminathan. He does respond, so no goal is going to be scored off of that elimination. But maybe kind of a sign that things are going to be changing for George Mason. We haven't seen too many eliminations this game, but that might be changing as it really gets down to the wire.
Elimination will elevate, attempts to pass the ball to Mango is unsuccessful because Shank plays disruption chronically when their team does not have possession of the ball. Instead, in the corner, it's a 2-on-1 favoring Shenandoah. Shanks takes a shot, it's too high. Follow-up touch from Perks is on target, but the Khazi will find a save, sent to midfield. Perks rotates to back post. Ball is sent towards their net, but it is too far. Shanks will bring it up to the midfield stripe. Thwarted by elimination, but there's no follow-up in time to prevent it from going back into Shenandoah territory.
Elite just runs right into one of the Hornets as his shot completely denied. Shank an elevation up, but he misses on it. That would have been a great spike down in toward the goal. But here, from back in midfield, almost Perks gets there just in time to find a save. Boy, we've seen so many plays up very close to the goal, a lot of split-second shots that it would have been quite a departure for a goal to be scored like that from mid.
That would have been highlight reel content. Elimination looking for an opportunity to find the goal to put their team in the lead. Does look like Mango's going to try and help out. Ball's pinched towards the ceiling. Shanks will clear it into the back left corner. Elimination comes in, sends the ball to midfield. Elite passes to Shank, 50-50 between Shank and Mango. Mango wins. Elimination sends the ball the rest of the way. Khazi tries to make a shot, but the ball is stolen away by Perks.
Elite shot on goal, past Mango, and finds his hat trick. We are seeing a return to form for the Patriots. In the first game, they scored a hat trick against the Hornets, and now they're doing it again in the last to put themselves up to a narrow lead. Kickoff in favor of George Mason. They'll be able to set up. Mango gets to it first, going to elevate up with Khazi following close behind. It's denied by Shank, however, doing a great job at that pass disruption.
Elimination did elevate, sent the ball to the lower right corner. Kiazi with possession, sends them to tries to take a shot, is going to be thwarted by Shanks again. Shank brings it down into Shenandoah territory. Mango puts a stop to it for a brief moment with possession, has pressure, needs to look for a teammate instead of Leaf. Gets contact, leaves the ball for Perks, and that sets George Mason in the lead by 2 with sub 1 minute on the clock. Many players, many people would consider this a nail in the coffin moment for Shenandoah.
Yeah, I've been saying that once we haven't seen any game go past a 1-goal lead, and now that George Mason has a 2-goal lead to their name, and with only 47 seconds, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility if we would have to see a major turnaround by the Hornets.
Ball is inside George Mason opportunity. This is a chance for Shenandoah to find one of the 2 goals they need, but they cannot give up this forward pressure. They do. Ball goes to mid. Mango, the playmaker, loses possession again. Ball is inside Shenandoah defensive third. 20 seconds on the clock. Pressure's mounting. Palms are sweating, and Shank comes in and makes the connection. That's goal number 5 for George Mason.
And I think that is the game ended, but it really wasn't a blowout until the last minute and a half. So even in the final game, I mean, you look at the score 5-2, you would think that that's a runaway for the Patriots, but it really wasn't until the very last minute. And now just 20 seconds left to play out. More of a formality at this point. Maybe Shenandoah can find a goal. Shank is going to push it back toward midfield. Now we're in the final 10 seconds, and we are looking at our first victor of the season. Nice play by Mango, however, not being counted out until the very last second.
I mean, morality goals to close that goal differential are always nice. It's fine. It's the first game of the season, too. You got to keep that in mind, so it's only up from here.
And it was a very great play by Kiazi as well. Bumped 2 of the goalies way back into the corner of their own goal, so they really weren't able to respond to it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a goal off that last kickoff. And there we go. George Mason is going to be the first victor of tonight's lineup. So congratulations to the Patriots. We want to give a thank you to our sponsors. You got Truth Initiative, America's largest nonprofit public health organization committed to making tobacco use and nicotine addiction a thing of the past. You can go to truthinitiative.org to find out more about their mission and get involved yourself. And also a thank you to Extra Life. Join our Extra Life webinar on Monday, September 25th. Hear from College Esports Club with fundraising experience and learn how you can help raise funds for your local Children's Miracle Network Hospital. You webinar participants will also be automatically entered to win prizes, so support Extra Life to play games and change children's health to change the future. All right, well, we were asking for a competitive game. I think we truly got one. It's a game that I think warrants a break.
I agree with you, but now we have to request of all the other teams that are going to be playing tonight, give us a 5-game series, because these guys did it, and they came in probably the coldest out of everyone that's going to get to play because they started first. So now the challenge remains on the remaining teams for the evening.
We'll be back with the second match of the night after this commercial break, so do not go away. back to the Nace Star League studio as we bring you the opening night of the Rocket League fall season. Fall 2023 is here. We are ready to cover every single piece of action for all of you watching right now. I'm still your host, KhazixMayJump Palmer. I'm joined now by Colin. Varsity-League can call all the action for you here tonight. Colin, we had such an incredible first game. You as kind of our resident Rocket League player, what did you most notice kind of in the gameplay for that first game?
Well, one heck of a match to take it all the way to Game 5, so I got to give credit to both those teams to have this sort of adversity to push it all the way through. But I mainly saw from there just sort of the level of experienced gameplay I'm expecting to see from the Ace Premier here, and it excites me a lot. And this is only Game 1, Series 1, as a matter of fact. So what I saw, if there's any indicator of what else I'm going to see from these other matches, I'm pretty excited.
And let's get to that next match right now. We have got Lackawanna versus Harrisburg. We were talking about regional rivalries. Here's another big one that we're covering here tonight. And just to recap, we started off with Shenandoah versus George Mason. The Patriots were able to take that 3-2. Now we move on to Lackawanna versus Harrisburg.
And then we got Missouri State, Wichita State at 9 p.m., and then Colorado College and North Dakota State at 10 p.m. Those are all Eastern Standard Times. But we're focused on one match currently right now. It's Lackawanna College and Harrisburg. That's going to be starting right about now, I'm pretty sure.
The Falcons versus the Storm. And let's find out what team members are going to be representing the Falcons and the Storm, respectively. First up for Lackawanna College, I'm just going to call you JK, first player of that. I cannot get all of that out while I'm casting, so I'm just going to go JK, Aoka, and JD1 for the Falcons.
We got Mitzi, Nex, and Toricel for Harrisburg side of the Storm. Got a little bit of history for this roster update as well. Lackawanna College is a team that has participated in last spring's Varsity Premier season, and they would end up going 7-3 in there. As for the side is Harrisburg, as far as the NACE website's concerned, this is their first season participating in NACE Varsity Rocket League. So this is sort of like the vet versus sort of the rookie situation here, I'm looking forward to seeing if that experience is going to pay off.
Well, it's not just, you talked about vet versus rookie, but you also got to understand Harrisburg is not just a veteran in competing in tournaments, but they sometimes put on their own invitational. Yeah. So on all sides of competitive esports, they have been a long-standing name and are going to be a definite challenge for the Falcons. But if last game was anything to go by, I think we've got some great matchups here, very evenly matched teams. And what do you think is going to be the key? What was kind of the deciding factor for the last game that you think could be a deciding factor in this game?
One of the things I saw that I really think could almost be expanded upon is taking opportunities when given. A lot of the times when double commits are made, when bad decisions, when the ball's banged into the sidewall, pumped right back into the middle, when it's not played correctly into the corner and safely, a lot of the times that can just end up messing you up as a defense. And if the offense doesn't take quality shots well placed at a hard pace or a good passing opportunity, you might as well just throw the ball back to the other side because you miss an opportunity. And I think if teams recognize that and they see that weakness, they can either defend on it really well or end up finding a lot of scoring opportunities.
Here we go, Lackawanna versus Harrisburg, Falcons versus the Storm. We'll see if this game goes to all 5 games just like the last one, or will we see a blowout match? We are ready to head down to the first kickoff and see what these players have to offer. Remember, it was George Mason who got the first victory. Who will be added to the winners column? We're going to find out right now as the first kickoff's underway. Next. Wow, look at that cheat that he got. He was just positioned right there to follow up. And it is a little bit to the side, so it's not going to be a clean shot on goal yet, but definitely side control gotten off the first kickoff.
Aoka hitting a boom right over there. Next is going to be able to clear the ball, getting the pass over to Toricel. Toricel might try to pick it up. Is not going to follow up with it, though. Is going to play off the sidewall, try and keep it alive. Mitzi gets a bit of a 50, keeping it into the midfield. Next, going to make another commit into the midfield. MC going to play it off Mitzi, now trying to get a double touch. Is able to get it. He's going to mix up the Lackawanna defense. A bit of a pass, almost shot to Aoka. Aoka not able to get the quality shot they're looking for. Mitzi's going to get them right back possession. Not before TC is going to steal it right back.
TC now dribbling up the field. Ioka is going to be the one to push it off toward the side. Now JK moving in, getting a whole bunch of territory for Lackawanna, and is elevating up. Ioka just gets the touch on it. A pass over to JK, and it's going to prevent the clear from Harrisburg from going through. Can JD turn it into a shot on goal? Doesn't look like it, but Lackawanna staying in the mix.
JK now possession, looks to get a touch, wasn't able to get the pass over to JD though. Now it's to see an open net. Is there a defense there to defend it off the sidewall? Is able to read it correctly, and that is 1-0 for the side of the Storm. They didn't take it up early, but it was hard fought.
They were the ones who made the early statement off of that kickoff, and now they drive it all the way a minute and a half later to their first goal. We'll see how this next kickoff goes. TC is going to push it off toward the side. Ball is still up for grabs by any team. TC, a nice push off of the wall, gains a whole lot of momentum and keeps it in Harrisburg's possession. The Storm now making their way toward the goal. Can they push it off the ground? No, they cannot. JD gets to it first and saves. And a demo just reflecting how intense this competition is. TC, rebound, finds the open goal.
Even though that demo was a bit late, and even though it didn't directly impact the shot that was currently taken, that was beautifully played by TC. What an amazing shot to put there. Bottom left bins. Oh, you just can't ask for anything better.
3 minutes, 12 seconds left. Next gets the first touch on that kickoff. The ball is pinched off to the side. Look out for TC. He's going to push it in himself. No, at the very last moment, Lackawanna makes contact with the ball, and it heads off to the side. And JK could turn this into a goal. It does. Oh my goodness, we are not getting any sort of second to breathe here.
Yeah, not even a quick turnaround. That's exactly how Rocket League should be played to a degree. The faster you can turn that defense, almost that hello to goodbyes type situation, you're going to find yourselves in the ability to make some magic happen, and that's exactly what Lackawanna was able to do there. And a bit of a passing play over to JD. Next, going to be able to cut it off. Aoka is going to make the catch, played it really well, now off to the sidewall here. Going to try to keep possession, the flick over. JD now with possession and a lot of boost to keep it going. Now has the dribble, trying to get it over. TC is not able to do it. The defense is going to come in clutch here, but that does not mean they didn't get rid of any possession. Aoka now looking for the pass in midfield. JD is going to opt to not challenge. Hopefully going to team it in midfield.
JK gets a pass over to JD. Actually, JD goes past that. He's just going to slow play it. Aoka now pushing it off toward the side. It looked like Lackawanna's plans just ran into a little bit of a wall there. JD with a shot onto goal. Next is going to be trying to save it. He doesn't make contact with it, so it isn't credited to him. Harrisburg now trying to find the clear way back toward the Falcons' goal, and Aoka is the one to save the Falcons at the last moment.
Beautiful crossbar defense right there. Now it's up to TC to get a pass into the midfield here. Mitzi's going to put a boom on the net. JD has the perfect spacing to get there just in time and make the save. Now transitioning back into offense with a bit of an air dribble here. Gets to 50, plays in the sidewall. Aoka gets a pass. TC's able to get the interrupt. Now working with a bit of territory here. Next gets a bit of confusion with the teammate there. It's right back with JD as this air dribble. The bump from Aoka almost got there. Bit of confusion on that sidewall. Nevertheless, Harrisburg able to get a clear here.
TC makes contact with the ball, pushes it off to the side to buy him some time. JD now looking for his clear. He plays it past one, goes screaming up the field, leaving his team to defend. And Aoka is the one in the middle of the goal to save it yet again.
Oh, and JD gets the beautiful backboard read right there. Way to think on their feet.
I was busy looking at Aoka's feet. He's already got 4 saves for this round. Oh, he's playing out of his mind to keep the Falcons in the mix, and now we've got basically an all-new game with 1 minute to go.
This also puts into perspective how much pressure Harrisburg is putting on to the Lackawanna net right now, as JK's able to get a bit of a pinch here, puts him in an awkward position there. TC is going for the shot, is not able to get it. Plays it down to JD. Now JD going for another air dribble, is able to get over one, not over Mitzi though. Now onto the backboard. JK is able to get the read and play it into the corner there. Aoka is now able to play a bit of pressure here. Make sure that ball is attempted to get into the midfield. It definitely is. JK with the shot, sitting pretty into the midfield. is able to put Lackawanna now in the lead with, I believe, about under a minute.
They came from being down 2 goals to now pushing themselves into the lead with a 3-goal rally. We are half a minute from seeing if Lackawanna is going to actually get the victory. Ioka now pushing it up the field, tries to get the shot on goal, but TC getting right in his face to deflect. Next now pushing it off to the side. JK on the rebound, now trying to set it up. Ioka is waiting back in the wings, making sure that they do not overcommit in this situation. JD gets demoed. In this final few seconds, that just might be enough time bought for the Storm to be able to keep this from overtime, but Ioka, true to form, it's going to be the last word in this game.
A great attempt by Mex is not able to get the second touch there, and Ioka was able to play it beautifully. Was able to play it beautifully, just wasn't able to get it done at the end of the day.
And I think that just might be it for this game. It is going to be indeed Lackawanna finds the first goal. Despite Harrisburg getting off to a quick start, the Falcons are going to be the one to claim it.
A bit of a comeback nonetheless at the end of the day.
I don't know if you could have a player that is more decorated than Ioka has been during this game. I mean, not only he had 5 saves, had a few goals, also 5 demos too. I mean, he had a whole other column being brought up for him, a whole other row in the activity feed.
Yeah, it was just and you almost sort of need a little player, so to speak, for a team. When you really talk about these teams that elevate really high, is that support system needs to be there in order to elevate that star player. And the best teams, in my opinion, honestly have those a lot of. You don't need this 3-star stack to win, you know, CRL Worlds and go all the way, or to win the NACE Championship. You need a solid foundation, and Ioka is able to play off that solid foundation and look like the star. But honestly, at the end of the day, it was all 3 of them working as a team to catch the W.
Well, hey, you know, a good team all working together is always going to beat a great team that isn't working together with great players. Because it isn't down to individual skill, it's how your team moves as a cohesive unit. But I don't think we can count Harrisburg out of this, because for the majority of that first game, they were the ones leading.
Yeah, it wasn't until the later half that we ended up seeing Lackawanna almost, so to say, come alive and start putting these really, really well-planned shots onto net. And quite honestly, it was a 1-goal game the entire time until the last 10 seconds, which was a last-ditch effort, in my opinion, to the side of Harrisburg. And a really good 50 off the sidewall there, gives them a bit of possession. Mitzi's trying to make the read, but puts now Harrisburg's in a really awkward position as JD plays it so well, it ends up being an open net shot.
Ever since they were able to get a goal, they have not let the streak be broken. Lackawanna now pushes themselves to a victory, to a lead, excuse me. I was thinking, I think they won that by 4-2 last time. That's 5 straight goals they haven't broken.
Oh, and it could make it 6. But Nex was able to get in just in time and make the save. Ioka might go for the double and off the bounce to do it. But still a bit of those attempts to do it. Goes back to the shot by TC. It's saved by Jay. Off the wall.
Back for the follow-up, but that shot is a bit wide and slow. Well, TC shot's dead set on the goal, and he gets
right off the touch, into the middle of the piece here. Beautifully passed out by JK. Able to get elevation slightly off. Now it's a complicated 0-0 game with 1 seconds left. It's game 2. Best of 5, so we definitely have some room to be here for the goal. Great 50. Played off another 50, keeping it inside of Lackawanna. Ioka, one more touch. Oh, and next is a shot on that. It's going to be saved out by JK. Soft touch, there in the field, now getting through, back to back, the monster Richard gets JD. All the room to work with, and this is going to be there to slow it down by 7-8.
Ioka shot on goal. Harrisburg moved a bit too far up the field.
Sets up Ioka looking for the pass out to midfield. Next was able to get a touch, but not get too much after that. Now it's up to Mitzi, gets a pinch right into the mid. It's going to be saved out by the Falcons. Now TC taking control, gets demoed for it, and that could be shot by JK. It's going to be cleared and then saved again to keep going by Next. This shot on net is getting dangerous. Harrisburg really needs to find a way to get a clear here and not end up paying for it.
Lackawanna is left chasing after the ball. Had that been a bit more centered, that could have been an open goal. JK now passes to JD. This shot is set toward the goal, and the follow-up from JD, not going to find it. But any sort of time that Lackawanna can just run out this remaining 2 minutes and stay in the lead isn't going to be too bad for them in terms of strategy. TC centers it up. Ioka is right there to stop the potential shot on goal.
I like the fact that Falcons are going for these a little bit more complicated upfield passing plays. It shows a lot of dexterity between the teams and trying to get it done just right off of that. The clear turns into a pass for Ioka to try and get a shot off the corner wall. Now JK getting one right now. It's up to JD. Only the one going for a solo play here was attempted and did look good. But TC is going to be able to get a play now. Bounce up the ceiling, puts the Storm into an awkward position here. Now JD is elevated, looking for the ground shot. It's able to get under one, but not over Next. Now TC elevates, looking for the flipper set, was able to get it, and I don't know how that ends up in the back of net, but it did.
It is not going to be so simple as just Lackawanna moves on to their match point. A double commit is not going to be able to work out for the Falcons. 1 minute, 20 seconds left to decide game 2. We will either put Lackawanna to match point and have a chance at a complete sweep, or Harrisburg is going to guarantee that we're going to be sitting here for a lot more time.
So far right now, it's the Falcons that kind of have the momentum, honestly, in my opinion. And this is kind of displayed by their gameplay and their willingness to go for these solo plays that JD's able to get one, and there's a shot by JK, but it's blocked out. Ioka now is possession. JD tries to get a touch to evade one more defender. That repositioning ends up worked out for them anyway. Now they're going for the flip reset here. Ioka almost does like a smoke screen there and allows JD to just slip by the defense of the Storm.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Well, they get both of the defenders to commit to elevation. And so they're both up in the air, and JD recognizes that, doesn't, elevate back up himself. He just slides along the ground, put it in under them. That's kind of a great split-second reaction by him to know that the goal was basically completely open, just like it was there, but it's not going to go in. And now Lackawanna is able to walk away from that with still a 1-goal lead.
Oh!
Well,
what?
TC.
I need the replay here. Hold on a second. I look away for a second, and that wasn't even a pinch. That was straight power. TC hits Jim. Oh my God.
Well, we're not going to have a simple game here. We are going to be going all the way, possibly toward overtime. Just how we like it. Next is going to get his shot blocked by Ioka. Ioka finds the flip reset, unable to keep the play going on, however. He's going to head back toward the Falcons' territory. JK gets demoed, so the potential clear is denied, and it almost turns into an own goal for Lackawanna. That was almost disastrous for the Falcons.
Just that demo in it by itself was just enough to put some real pressure on it, and we saw the Storm in Harrisburg able to do it last game in game number 1 to turn a late demo into a shot on goal that ended up turning being in the back of the net. But this time around, we did not able to do it. We saw Lackawanna able to cover here and now really get set up off the kickoff. Is it going to be able to turn into a solo play? But JK is able to put a shot, but TC has a great position in there to block the corner. Out Next, getting a shot or getting a pass off the sidewall here. It's quickly interrupted by Ioka. TC off the ceiling was looking for a play, not able to do it, but quickly interrupted. Now it's up to Next, trying to outplay JK. Able to do it a little bit, but JD now has possession of the ball. Mitzi able to steal a full boost and retreat back to back post. TC's able to keep it safe in the red corner.
Harrisburg's been doing a really good job of kind of defending their own corner boost. They haven't let Lackawanna take too many of those hundreds, and that really kind of just puts a limit on how much time Lackawanna can spend in hostile territory and make these plays. As the shot goes up into the crossbar, can they follow up? Ioka and JD both commit on it.
And Harrisburg is still able to keep the ball from going in. They are all in front of the goal. They're going to manage to save, but Lackawanna says, we want more. We want to end this right here, right now.
Also notice how Harrisburg has absolutely no boost right now as a team. Even though they managed to get the clear, they're not going to be able to do too much with it. TC gets the boost off the crossbar there. Now going for a second over to JK. Wasn't able to get it. TC is going to come with the clutch defense. Now it's Ayoka with not enough boost to keep going. He's going to try and be an annoyance here. He was not able to quite do it. Next, now looking for the clear, is able to get it. JK is expected to get a boom clear. He is going to do that. Now a touch off the ceiling. Pass it over to the side here. A pass off the ceiling, not going to be able to follow it up. Mitzi looking for a double, isn't able to do it, but a demo is going to relieve a lot of pressure that Harrisburg is feeling. Now the pass right to Mitzi. Ooh, Next was not able to get the power they're looking for.
Well, it's been so intense, it feels like much longer, but we are actually coming up on the 2-minute mark for overtime, and JD could end it, but Next is a bit too fast for him. Can JK pick up the pieces and keep this play going? A nice clear by TC is going to give them the chance to keep pushing forward. TC elevates up again, the pass over to Next, and Mint to follow up. The ball gets spiked high up into the air, however, and that's going to mess up the play for Harrisburg and allow the Falcons to get it clear.
This could be dangerous here. Next is looking for the double, gets the flip reset, looking to push it into the corner. Not able to quite do it. JD is going to be credited with an amazing save right there. And nearly 2 minutes and 30 seconds into this overtime, not able to quite get it low enough. Gonna hit crossbar. JD's going to grab a full boost and retreat back to back post, now elevated, trying to stop this midfield pass. Is able to do it. Next is up, is able to get the interrupting touch here. Now it's up to Mitzi going for a ground play, attempts to get the flick, not able to get it over Ayoka. Now it's TC, buying the team a little bit of time here. The Falcons looking like they have a lot of boosts here, so does Harrisburg. Trying to make something happen here as we're about to be 3 minutes deep into this overtime.
We're seeing a kind of a battle offensively between TC and JD. They both have the same amount of shots on goal, 6 apiece, and they're going to try to make another right now. Mint is going to have his shot blocked, however. Now JK moving up the field. Can he get there in time? No. Next is there, ready to credit that save to himself. And now Ayoka now moving in for the shot on goal. Both of the Harrisburg commit on it. They're going to have to recover. They're moving in. JK with the follow-up. It is blocked by Mint. And Harrisburg doing what they did before, all of them scrambling in front of the goal, being kind of an insurmountable swarm for the Falcons to get through.
It's an absolute nail-biter right now from both of these teams. Harrisburg fighting for their life, as for the majority of this OT it's spent in their corner and not having enough boost to find an opening right now. Mitzi trying to make something happen here, isn't able to get it over JD though, but Next is sitting on back wall. Able to play a bit of defense here. JK is able to get the 50 and out to the TC. It's very important to get the clear here. Ayoka is going to get a touch, but going to progress it into midfield. Next is going to be able to get a boom, be able to clear it a little bit. Now it's up to JD. Gets a little bit too low for the dribble, but that sets up JK perfectly. Able to play around TC, but not around Next. And 4 minutes and 20 seconds into this OT, we have not found a goal to end the game, period.
We're getting a 2 for the price of 1 deal, but oddly enough, my voice box at least is not thrilled about this great offer.
This could be the game.
This could be it, though. No, of course not. It's not going to be the end. I think we're going to go all the way towards.
There it is.
Oh, you see, the one moment I say it's not going to be, it is the end, and Harrisburg ends it nearly 5 minutes into overtime. Great shot by Mint to secure it.
Though honestly, the one time I don't see the Falcons have somebody playing back post right there. A lot of times, and honestly, the Falcons played backboard defense really well throughout that entire match. I think that's definitely something that we can highlight, period, that they did for the entirety of it. Their defense was always solid. I think honestly we can say that for both the Falcons and the Storm there going forward. You don't go 5 minutes into OT without having some pretty solid defense.
Yeah, it was very scrappy at the end. It was just kind of, I think, a battle of attrition of who was going to wear out first, because I think both of them had the skill to keep it going for an indefinite amount of time.
Oh yeah, I think the one thing I didn't see that I saw Harrisburg kind of do a little bit in this game and really do in game 1 was the demos they did. I didn't see them demo at all during the OT, and I think for the side of Lackawanna as well, if I would have seen 1 or 2 demos on that side of either defensively or pushing offensively, I think the overtime would have been cut in half, and you would have found a goal way more easier. But I understand the sort of the mindset you get in this OT. Your hands start to get really sweaty. They clinch the controller really, really difficult, and you're just communicating nonstop with your teammates. I can see how it's just almost this absolute pressure to get the goal in, but it was on the side of Harrisburg that they ended up finding that lucky break.
And it's always difficult after a long overtime like that, basically essentially a double-length game. Basically. You're already tired out, and then it's like, no, we're not even at match point. We've got a whole marathon left to run here.
Oh yeah.
We'll see which team can really step up to the plate and keep on moving as if nothing has happened. A whole bunch of territory gained for Lackawanna. TC up the side of the wall. Going to drive it all the way back over toward the blue goal. Mint shot towards center, but no follow-up quite yet. TC back over to the other side, and we're seeing kind of trepidation from both teams. I'm not seeing really any plays in the red zone, so to speak.
Yeah, no, definitely not a whole lot of. We've seen a bunch of pressure being put on by the side of Harrisburg, especially on this blue side. But even though they're putting on this constant, just the ball is in your face, they have yet to really put on an effort-worthy shot on net, so to speak. But it's JD now that has possession of the ball, and a bit of a rule one that you may have seen just a few seconds ago that I believe is still, it's still being honored right now, which I absolutely love it. TC gets it, everyone looking for the backboard play. Aoka goes for the assist as well. Unfortunately participating in a little bit of the own goal, but it's really TC that finished it off.
We have seen so many of these kinds of plays here tonight just be another, the crossbar saved again. So it's nice to see one finally just squeeze right in there and be able to get Harrisburg an early lead. Now Harrisburg has basically, they haven't been behind too many times in this game. Normally they've started games off with a lead, only for the Falcons to come roaring back around this time.
Yep.
We'll see if they can do that. JK trying to find the clear. It gets blocked. It's going to be left up to JD right now. Mint gets demoed. That could lead to an opening here for Lackawanna. It jumps right down at the crossbar once again. Is there as the best goalie you could have ever asked for.
Crossy, once upon a time, one player of the game in a broadcast that I participated in and I absolutely loved it. And more than ever, it's still participating in that near 100% just block completion of goals. But it's up to JK now, taking a bit of a shot. TC is able to sit on the sidewall there, get the defensive save. Now it's next, looking for the pinch. It gets a beautiful read off that TC is going to be able to steal a big pad. Now maybe looking for the pass, but looking for a disrupt and a demo. Wasn't able to quite get it. Next still being a bit of an annoyance here for the side of the Falcons. TC is going to commit here, and so does another Harrisburg defender. Luckily, there's no real threat on shot right now, and just as I say that, I cast the curse it. JD is going to find the shot on the sidewall.
Yeah, it just seems like something was a little bit off in that last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Two players in a row whiffed on it, and then the goal was left fairly wide open. So a little bit of a lapse, and Lackawanna, true to form, is now starting their play back. They're roaring back into form, and okay, as long as they can walk away from situations like that, maybe we can get their comeback story going.
Okay, able to get it over TC. Now it's up to Next. Now Next gets the reset off the ceiling here. Might be looking for a dunk. Isn't able to quite do it. Aoka gets the demo. Now looking for the pass. Isn't going to opt to follow it up as they have zero boost. Next is going to be able to get a clear here. JD is up to slow it down, send it to the corner, but TC is waiting eagerly. Gets it off the backboard. Wasn't able to follow it up as it was interrupted. Now it's Next. Next hit over one, but it's JK to send it down. Aoka off the sidewall. Looking for a shot. Beautiful. Ooh. Add it to the highlight reel. Oh my God.
Very well called out play, and TC a bit too late moving in toward the goal. Now Lackawanna back into the lead. Quite frankly, I don't trust him, though, when it comes to overtime and ending it quickly.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing the Falcons. I believe in a previous cast I did with Lackawanna, there was a 15-minute overtime with them. Wow. So
do not trust this team to end games quickly. They are going to move till the very, very, very end.
It is starting to become a trend. They need to start a research paper on it. Aoka looking to get a shot off as well. Not enough power on it. Next is going to play a bit of a defense on the sidewall here. He's able to get a clear. JK was able to cut it just in time to catch it. Now looking to get over TC as well. Not able to quite get it done. There is one defender for the side of the Storm on the back post here. Next is able to get a big pad. Mitzi able to play a bit of defense. Next, able to get the right read, and that was a definite missed shot opportunity for the side of the Falcons. Now it's TC with a bit of possession, looking to play the 50. Is able to do it off the ceiling. Is there anyone to play off the ball? Next was able to slide to do and get a dunk. This could be a shot opportunity for the side of the Storm. It was there, but it was unfortunately defended for them.
Mint moving back to try to tie it up, but Aoka has his eye on that play, is going to deny it to him. Goes back to JK. Release toward midfield. JD trying to move in, but Hex beats him to it on that 50. And that's going to keep the ball pressured up against the blue goal. Can Lackawanna find a clear? JK unable to play it past one of Harrisburg. Uh-oh. That 50 up in the air. JD didn't quite get the situation he was looking for, and it's going to be passed back over into Lackawanna's territory. And can Harrisburg score off of it? We see a demo onto JD to try to clear out the goal, but it doesn't look like anything's going to come to fruition through that. It's going to have to rely on a final buzzer beater if Harrisburg can score it, or if Lackawanna will ground it and end this game. They do! A little bit more than a ground, just a final goal to show off.
Really puts the last nail in the coffin there. Totally unnecessary, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do there. And wow, any regular regulation time game feels like a speed run compared to game number 2 that we had. But Lackawanna College is going to walk away with game number 3 going 2-1 there.
From experience, we're on Lackawanna time basically now because essentially we're starting what is technically game 4, but to count that overtime, we've gone all 5 games in terms of a time that you'd normally be dedicated to it.
Might as well go to the best of 7 at this point.
But if you're a team that can consistently perform and it shows that it doesn't matter how long you play, you can outlast the other team, then why not play that to your advantage?
Oh yeah, 100%. I know it's a big thing, personally with my team that I'm responsible for, it's a big thing of scrimming for several hours in a row, purely because in back-to-back succession, because you never know when you're going to be in a best of 7 matchup where every game goes to a couple-minute OT and you end up going a little distance, because it's just not the same as queuing up for ranked and you get a 5-minute, 2-minute wait time. You got to keep going, and clearly Lackawanna is the one where they're running the whole marathon. They're not even winded yet.
Meanwhile, the Storm have to tie this up to go to, oh my goodness, game 5. I can hardly believe it, because it seems like we have gone through it all right now. But here is the deciding play yet again. This first kickoff, Mint trying to cheat on the kickoff, but he is just going to get demoed right off the bat by Aoka. JK pushes the shot towards go Aoka to spike it down. It's still in front of the goal. Maybe JD could follow up on it, but he's going to be pushed off to the side and played around by Mint. So Aoka comes in again, and we're now back into an anyone's game midfield.
I will say that is definitely a thing that Lackawanna does so well right now, is their ability to pass. The passing game between them, just offensively and defensively, and even in the midfield where they're just setting up teammates, is just really impressive. And that might not be as impressive as TC going for a flip reset play. Almost kind of like they're going for a pogo at the very end, but it just doesn't work out. Next, he's able to get a slight touch. TC was looking for the redirect there. Mitzi attempting to get a power shot low, trying to pull a bit of the defenders, not able to quite do it. Now it's up to Next. Next into midfield, looking for the pass for them here, picking up minis. Gonna have to contest JK now. JK doesn't get the touch, but it manages to get lucky while they're falling down here. And TC looking for the pass to the Mitzi, opts not to go for it though. For the solo play, the defense is gonna come out. Now it's Aoka getting the clear over one. Might have to go for a teammate. Unfortunately, the bounce was not in their favor, and JK gonna have all the time in the world to set up here.
TC, a bit of fancy footwork in mid-air, so to speak. Trying to find a clear for himself, but Aoka just shuts the door right in his face on that possibility.
Next attempts to get this touch, trying to control it, trying to save them a bit of the time. Unfortunately for them, Aoka was sitting there and even if they do manage to get the car on top of their ball, you got to challenge there, and it's got to be quick, and ends up paying off for them. Lackawanna's going to go up 1-0 here as we clock just about the minute 30 check mark. JD looking for a shot on that. It's going to be saved out by Nex here. See, up, gets one touch, looking to get the follow-up here. Wasn't able to get the big pad. JD now up, also looking for the redirect. Isn't able to quite get it. Leaves it down for Ayoka. Ayoka's not able to touch JK. Looking for the shot as well. Now to TC. Look to elevate over one. Slightly is able to do it. A bit of double commit for the side of Harrisburg here. Could be dangerous. I think they were able to rebound just in time, and also the extra touch by TC saved them a lot of time.
We have 3 minutes left in this game, and Lackawanna is in the lead. This is the first time that the Falcons have really come out to a lead. Normally they rally back from a deficit. So maybe this is an even better pace for them to set. Ioka right there. I thought I was going to be proven wrong, but Ioka saves it and keeps this 1-0. Off of that save, it's going to be a whole bunch of ground gained and a shot on goal by JK, but it pushes right into reliable the crossbar. And Lackawanna still at a 1-goal lead.
So now looks for control here. Fakes it a little bit, tries to go under, is able to get over one. JD gets the 50 though, is able to stick with it, gets the sideways flick, a bit too much power as it hits crossbar. Second shot, too much power, hits crossbar. A third shot was on target, hit crossbar, what was saved by TC right there. 3 for 3 on the side of it. Aoka tries to get a nasty, cheeky little angle there. Not able to do it as well. Now Mitzi looking for the Musty. Able to get underneath the ball. The flick over JD. Not able to quite get it. JD's able to get the side touch. Keep it on the sidewall here. Now it's JK with the pass up the middle. This could be dangerous for their own team. A little bit of awkwardness happening for the side of Lackawanna. Now to the TC off the ceiling right now. Aoka not able to get the quality touch they're looking for. JD's able to clean it up a bit, but not before Nex interrupts. It's just back-to-back action-packed right now. Mitzi to TC. TC off the sidewall, gets bumped, not able to quite do it. An attempted bump there. Next with the shot is over. Not able to quite find its way into the back of the net here as Lackawanna still receiving a lot of pressure right now.
A little over a minute left in this match, and Harrisburg. Oh!
Okay.
Oh, finally gets the equalizer.
Oh, man.
I was in disbelief. At this point, I'm wondering, how is that not in the goal? And then TC finally probably gets the most well-earned, well-deserved goal I have ever seen. All right, both teams are tied. 1 minute to go. This is crunch time. Who is going to actually pull it out? And a shot is whipped by Harrisburg. That's going to give an opening for
That could be dangerous.
Lackawanna right
Oh,
here.
no.
Crossbar time.
Oh!
Follow-up denied by the post.
There is absolutely no way. What did my eyes just witness right there? An unfortunate events to happen over there. JK is going to get a shot on the backboard. TC is able to play it soft, keep control here. Now looking to get over. Aoka goes not over, but around them. Now looking to do it to JD. Is able to do it with the pass to Mitzi. Mitzi hits it too much at the front of their car and scales it up. Not able to quite stick with it. Now it's up to Nex. Let's get a slight touch. TC now looking to get the rebound off the backboard. Not able to quite do it. Mitzi with the shot on the net. And it's Mitzi to put it in to get them over one here. 16 seconds left.
Oh, they actually did it. We are actually going to a game 5.
Well, I wouldn't say never.
I mean, well, you know, if you want to just completely blow my expectations out of the water, Lackawanna take it to overtime, but we also know that overtime is not a quick endeavor with Lackawanna. So unless Harrisburg is able to score an insurance goal just like Lackawanna did last game, we are going to game 5.
Going to game 5. Just that slight mistouch by JK almost entirely puts the nail in the coffin. Going to game 5 all the way. An interesting little bit of comeback for the side of Harrisburg. As we were talking about the Falcons and Lackawanna not being the ones to be winded here, Harrisburg was the ones to come back and also say, hey, we're not completely out of this game. We're the ones that also have a bit of talent to show off. And an almost beautiful passing play from the side of the Falcons. Didn't quite pan out. Going to game 5.
Well, with us calling the game, we often try to find narratives or things. Oh, this team might be good at X, this team might be good at Y. That might help them in a short game or may help them in a long game. But I think both of these teams
no matter what we say, the other team is like determined to say, no, we're just as good in that area, if not better, and we're going to drive it all the way to the final deciding match. This has to decide it. If it goes into overtime, I swear.
I don't think it'd be any other better way to start off.
I know. It would be fitting.
Week 1,
very
day
fitting.
1. It'd be very fitting because I don't believe last series went Game 5 OT, correct? No, yeah, it did not. But still, I think if there's any 2 teams to do it, it's these ones right
It
here.
went into overtime for only about 10 seconds, and I believe it was Nerdy actually who gave the challenge to the other teams. Okay, we've seen what a good game is. Let's see you top this. And Lackawanna and Harrisburg said, all right, we'll give you basically 6 games in terms of the total time played.
Yeah, you chalk it all up, especially the time you spend watching the replays and that like 2-3 second grace period in between goals as well, and the start of a kickoff. Just that time ends up adding up, and these series can be draining. And it's a point that I think honestly I'm just going to keep drilling at because this is the series to talk about it. Even though in a best of 5, you can get drained, you can get tired. It's so imperative, and especially that mental side. If you listen to me any time in the last semester of spring, mental is so important in the side of the Rocket League. Quite honestly, any sport.
Harrisburg getting a whole bunch of time left to themselves. A whole bunch of territory, I should say. Ioka now moving. Mint puts a shot on goal. It's saved by JD. TC with a follow-up and finds it. What is it about TC and these goals just at the very last moment?
Just absolutely finding it. Just what an angle to take a shot at to JK, trying to get the save there. Such an awkward angle to attempt to get it from. You have to be nearly perfect with the way you touch that ball. Unfortunately, at that moment, they were not able to do that. Off the kickoff, Aoka's going to get a demo here, but it doesn't really matter as Nex is going to get possession there. They're trying to steal the mid boost, or the corner boost isn't there. Mitzi's able to get it over JD though, but this corner is not a great spot for Harrisburg to try and mount an offensive from. JK is able to get the pass over to JD. JD's going to play a little bit off here. Aoka looking for the pass off the sidewall. TC is able to get the boom past one of them. JD is also able to play a bit of defense here. Mitzi opt to the pass in midfield. Next to take the shot. Wasn't quite able to put enough power onto it, and now it's looking dangerous side of Harrisburg, but just I say that, not so.
JK shot way back over the other side of the field, but it is a straight shot, so it's easily answered back by Harrisburg. They're going to try to find the clear as Aoka moves in. JD trying to also bump some goalies out of the way to get some territory. Lackawanna, really wants this goal. JD off the crossbar, gets the equalizer. We're tied up again.
There it is. That's the perfect way to take that shot, and that demo just relieves so much and gives the Falcons so much control over the field, and JD is able to just take their time like a golf tee, just line it up perfectly, make it happen. 1-1 now, 3 minutes and 27 seconds left. The possession over to JD, able to get a flip reset here, could be dangerous, was opted for the ground play. Not able to quite get too much ground off of it. Next, now looking to get the demo off Aoka, not able to quite do it as well. Aoka's now striding to stick with the ball. Gets beat up by TC though, but JD's quickly gonna pick it up, and you see Neck go flying. Might be an open F, and Aoka is able to get the demo, not able to quite do it. What? We're gonna find the goal anyway.
This is another time where Lackawanna has really just stuck to the ground and been able to kind of fake everyone out with that strategy. We've seen so many mid-air fights that everyone kind of instinctively moves up the field, but sometimes sticking to the ground and just driving it in will pay dividends.
Oh yeah, it's really that's really just called taking control and possession of the ball. It's so important, especially at the higher levels, because so many people want to go up and they want to make these crazy plays and this flip reset off to the backboard, into the double touch, into the musty. You know, they can get as crazy as they want, but sometimes taking possession, slowing the game down is so important for a team to do. And Lackawanna does that exceedingly well with control, possession, and passing to teammates as well. As you see an attempt to get the flick going as well, Nex is going to be able to cut it off. Now it's up to JD to play into the corner. He's able to get a soft touch and still maintain possession and stay close. Is going to pay with their life for it, get demoed, but TC is going to be able to take that same control, play around one, isn't able to play around the second. And now JK finds themselves in perfect position, looking to play low. He's not going to be able to get the shot as Mitzi's going to be credited with the save.
2 minutes left in this match. Lackawanna hanging on to a narrow lead. JK gets it past a whole bunch of the Storm. He's going to get demoed for all that effort. Could buy just a little bit of time for Harrisburg to find their clear. TC now moving in. He's dangerous with those shots on goal. But JK, fresh off the respawn, is going to be there to save it.
JD gets one soft, gets a hard touch out to the sidewall here. Now it's up to Ioka. Gets a soft touch, sticks with possession for a second time. Now Harrisburg has punished those, trying to maintain possession here. Gets it over JK. Now still looking to stick with it. Gets the 50 off of JD. Next may be able to get a contention here. Is not able to quite do it. Now it's TC. Trying to get a defense here. Next is able to play it. Not able to quite do it well. Mitzi's gonna get that 50. Now a bit of control here for the side of Harrisburg as they now are pushed all the way up to the midfield with all three.
TC puts a shot onto the goal. It's a very narrow angle. Next is going to try to follow up. Could be an opening. You see Lackawanna just hanging out the front of that goal, waiting for the eventual shot on goal. Doesn't go through, however. So now with just 1 minute left, can Harrisburg drive us to overtime? Ioka gets the demo onto Mind. Going to be some time bought for him.
Okay, able to get the read, able to play it off, and manages to get a bit of a dunk there that could have been dangerous, but JD was able to rotate just in time. Now trying to find the right way to get a pass out for a teammate here. JK, bit eluded here, getting the touch. Now it's up to Next. Next is going to flick, isn't able to get it over JD though. Let's see on this back rotation, gonna play some defense now off the corner wall here. This could be dangerous though if there's a shot on net. It's a bit of a miss from both of them. It's up to JD. TC elevates to play some backboard defense, is able to come through with it, but gets demoed at the end. Actually gets the demo.
10 seconds left to close it all out. Will we go to a final overtime? Harrisburg has only a few seconds to make that happen, and right at the end, a save by the Falcons ensures their goal. Lackawanna, a victory well earned. So congratulations to the winner, Lackawanna. You drove it to a marathon and came out the victors in the end. Well, we're rejoined by Nerdy here, as we were saying. Thank you for your prediction coming true on game 2.
I'm very sorry. Yeah, that's all I can say. I'm also an Ioka stan, so like, if there's any game that I kind of want to be able to observe that is going in OT, it's the Lackawanna matchup.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, you know, even though I'm an alum of BSU, I'm like, Lackawanna, let's go! Like back there, like anytime I heard someone, like I heard you guys say Aoka's name, I was like, let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, I have a history with that player, so I gotta root for them.
Well, if we had to take a break after game 1, we definitely got to take a break for this game. We also have a message from our sponsor, Truth. We'll leave you with a message from them, a short video, and lead into the break with it. So you're going to want to join us for the second half of the proceedings here tonight. We'll be right back.
Breathe in and know that vaping nicotine can actually increase feelings of stress.
Yet some vape companies get rich telling you it's a stress reliever.
So let's call it what it is. It's a breath of stress air.
our league studio. You just saw Lackawanna take on Harrisburg, and now it is time for our penultimate game of the evening between Missouri State as well as Wichita State. I am now your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me here on the floor is Colin Majunkin.
I've been here. I've stayed.
This man is already geared up and ready to go after suffering those vocal cords crying in that 4-minute long overtime. Both of us are extremely excited to see what these two teams bring to the table. And do you by chance have any insider insight regarding both these teams?
So took a look at a little bit of the record, a little bit of the insider information. As far as we kind of have a repeat as far as I'm aware of, as we had for our last matchup of having a vet versus rookie, where we have, wow, this is really a tongue twister. Missouri State has a record of 7-3 into the last year of spring into their Varsity Premier Rocket League, whereas Wichita State does not. This should be their first season joining us at the Varsity Premier level for NACE. And I'm a little bit excited. We saw that sort of pay off for Lackawanna last time where they took the series at the end of the day. So I'm a little bit interested. Is that going to be the same thing repeated? Or is it then just going to be the reverse sweep?
Well, we can take a look at the rosters of these two teams to figure out who is our veterans coming onto the field and our newcomers. For Missouri State, it's going to be Cross, Hobbs, POV, and Spicy for the side of Missouri.
For the side of Wichita State, we got Views, Kappa, and I believe Bone. I don't know if you want to emphasize the double of the O, but it looks like Missouri State is having a sub here potentially.
I mean, the opportunity to sub someone on if they're not feeling it, or if they need to change things up. One person has a very solo gameplay style or is better at making sure the rotations are happening. You have to make sure that you have the opportunity to have those swaps. And so that fourth man can come in clutch. We'll see if it does for Missouri State, though, as we get ready to launch into this game. Before we do, would you have any words of advice, theoretically speaking, for these players?
The thing I talked to the things that I mentioned last time around still stand as part of advice, but I think also what I want to see a little bit more on the sides of it is demoing. And I know demoing is just sort of like that monkey brain mentality type thing of I only focus on demo, there's nothing else in my mind. But it really can be a strategic thing of, especially when you're out of rotation, getting back into rotation. When you see somebody just sitting in net or sitting in midfield, waiting for a pass from their teammate, why drive past them? Right? You can get the bump, if not the demo. So I feel like I want to see a bit more of that on terms of rotations from either of these teams. You'll find a lot more success that way.
Alternatively, you can get into the passing lane. I'm normally very pro demo, so the fact that I'm sharing the space with someone who also is, I need to change it up a little bit and say the opportunity is there. You can try to predict it, get in the passing lane, steal it away first. Or you can just blow them up in a puff of smoke. With that being said, I'm fine with either one. I like sparks, and if we're gonna have sparks flying, might as well start at the very beginning of an entire tournament and do it now. With that being said, though, I do have to emphasize it is the beginning of everything, and for a team that has just moved up to the Varsity-League in NACE, I have to say best of luck, and truly take this. Do not take this with a grain of salt. They play to have fun, and there's really no pressure. At the end of the day, this is all about improvement. We're all in school for a reason. We come here to learn. You're going to learn in school academically, and you'll learn while you're playing your esport of choice. Rocket League definitely has a learning curve that I have yet to get anywhere near the top of. So I know for a fact that it is easier said than done. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun. So we got to get a huge just shout of best of luck to all 7 of the players we could end up seeing today, or 6 if we don't see the sub. And hope for the best as we get ready to launch into this game. And beyond that, I'm pretty sure you are hoping we don't see a 4-minute long overtime.
If it ends up being a very close 4-minute overtime like it was that last game, I have absolutely I would hold no quorums over a 4-minute overtime if it's that close. Now, if it ends up being this sort of actually, I don't know how it could be a weird, slow 4-minute overtime unless both teams just kind of stop trying. But
so don't stop trying.
Don't stop trying. I think so far every team I've seen has taken it very seriously, and I think we're going to see that for the rest of the 8 weeks and playoffs that we're also going to see as well.
Well, I mean, NACE is a prestigious title to win, and if you come out sandbagging, it doesn't look good for your school, considering, you're live on broadcast during all of these games. Someone sees that, clips it, it lives on forever, and then all of a sudden you're trying to go for a team, and they see this clip with your gamer tag. All of a sudden, that coach decides to not send you a message. Just keep that in mind, because it's happened before in the past.
It's not us judging you. It's not the people putting on the broadcast, it's your teammates and the viewers. Especially your teammates.
Oh, I was going to say especially the viewers.
Oh man, will the teammates light you on fire.
I wouldn't know that. I would not personally know that. It sounds like that is coming from a place of personal experience.
Don't bring up bad memories, all right?
I apologize if you underperform today and then therefore your teammates decide to be very nasty. Of course, at the end of the day, you are a team, you are a family. That's never going to happen. And it does seem like we are having some slight delays getting people locked into lobby, so we'll figure out what is going wrong there. Hopefully we're not having any ping issues. At the end of the day, internet is never anyone's best friend when you need it most. It seems to disappear and disconnect. Happens all the time, especially at my house when I'm in the middle of a competitive Overwatch game. With that being said, we can talk a little bit more. Never mind, we are finally locked in and loaded, ready to go. It's going to be Missouri State taking on Wichita State. Who's going to come out on top? Well, we've got the first 5 minutes to at least give us a taste of what's to come.
Grizzly Bears versus the Shockers. I went to look at this map overview going into this, and we're getting right into the game here. Starting off Strongs. Cross will be able to get one touch. Now set a bit. Hobbs now looking to play some defense, was able to get there just in time. Off that sidewall here, Cross is going to get a slight touch. Now try and stick with it, gets it up and elevated here. And you can get the shots off to a bit of a psycho, not exactly on target with your own net, but still to your own corner here. Cap maybe looking for a pass or a Doomsday dish of their own, and that's exactly what's going to end up happening here. Their score is now 1-0.
Can you explain for someone who's not super familiar with technical terms, who only knows what a breezy and a musty is, what a doomsday dip is?
So a doomsday dish is just where you're simply going off of the sidewall or from where it's basically like a dunk from that goal you're trying to score it on from that sidewall.
Oh, so when you're like flat up against it.
Yeah, when you're basically parallel.
Okay, I got it. All right. Also, I know one more, and that's the Cuxer 50, but I very rarely have seen that in breeze.
Yeah, and it's really difficult to also get the power on it as well to get into the goal, because the real Cuxer pinch is like from at least midfield and beyond, farther away from the goal. You can really, that's really the only side you can really establish it on.
Well, speaking of midfield, this ball is spending a lot of time in the midfield area. Finally, I think it's actually Boone, not Bone, but we'll go with Bone. Manages to bring it into the corner. However, it's cleared out by Hobbs. Pop up from Cross. Of course, he does not make contact. Lower left corner. It's going to be Wichita State attempting to corral the ball and find a clear. Cap pops it up, allows it to go to View. View gets a slight touch on it, sends it forward, but it's not cleared out of their defensive third. Shot on net. Possible accidental Olin goal. Does end up hitting the other crossbar, going to midfield. Hobbs will dunk it down into the corner. It goes over their head. Follow-up from their teammate, unfortunately, is unsuccessful. Ball is now in defensive third from Missouri State.
Bone gets the touch on the sidewall here. Fuvo looking to stick with it. Cross is there to take over. Now it's a bit of a double commit from the side of Missouri State. Bone was looking to clear it. Cap not able to quite get the touch around though, but Views is able to get one. Cap able to get a slide touch, send it to the other side of the corner here. And trying to stick with it. There was a shot attempt there by Cross, and now by a Hobbs. Oh, not able to quite get the shot done nevertheless. Bone's now getting a bit of good control here, trying to get around Cross. Is not able to quite get to it though. Cap was there for the 50 attempt. Now Views with the shot, able to 50 it to the corner. Now with a bit of possession, he's able to get one touch. Are they looking for a second and the follow-up? It looks like they are. They're not going to get it in the air here. Also not able to get the second touch at all. Views are going to be able to take over. Not going to be able to put the shot attempt though. Cross is there, but the pass might be there for the side of Wichita. No, it is not, as Missouri State is going to take the win.
Vino gets pushed off of possession at midfield. It goes back into the corner inside Missouri State's half of the field. Cross is looking for an opportunity to regain possession. Instead, it's going to be Fuvo going in to pinch the ball up towards the air. Hobbs will send it the rest of the way to midfield stripe. Cross tries to snag it off the ground. It ricochets off of one of the Wichita State players. Elevation from Fluvio. Sends it to Cross, who's on the wall. Opportunity to bring it forward. Gets one touch. Can they get the second? They will not, as Cap sends it forward. Gets in front of Hobbs. Steals it away. Drops it down to Boone. Goes wide of the net, and it's a save from Fluvio. Ball is still here inside Missouri State's defensive third, cleared out by Hobbs and squad. Shot on goal, possibly from cross, that is unfortunately whiffed on. Turnaround here for Wichita State. Can they beat Hobbs to that goal line? Boone comes in with the second goal for Wichita State.
I really like that option to, instead of going for this hook shot that is really wide, it's going to be really difficult, and knowing there's already a defender in net, to opt to, hey, let's cut it a bit more, get it inside of field goal range, not field goal range, get it into the back of the net, and just giving it off to a teammate, going for that team glory over personal glory, and I really like it a lot. And Cross is looking to get it to the other net. Not able to quite do it. Cap was able to get the beat though, but Pluvo was able to get a flick over views. Bone trying to play some backboard defense, is able to get one touch. Hobbs trying to get the pass with the backboard, not able to quite do it as well. Bone trying to get the clear. Pluvo was there to disrupt. Now it's views looking for a second touch. Is Cross able to get one? Is able to get into the midfield. Hobbs only good for one touch. Send it to the yellow corner here. Now it's Cap. Trying to get the wave dash, trying to get enough speed to get the favorable advantage in the 50-50, not able to quite do it. Views overplays it just a bit. Cross is able to play the defense just about in the nick of time. Cap able to get one touch, only to get it down. Cross opts not to go for it though. Blue able to get a shot. Hobbs trying to get the redirect to get the bump. Views was able to get there in time. Uncontested. Cap is up. Gets one, now looking for the double, looking for a triple and a shot for a pass, not able to quite do it. Hobbs is going to play some good backboard defense. Views not able to quite set up a team.
Speaking of a teammate, Views' teammate of Boone gets sent to the shadow realm for a few moments, but Cap tries to take this opportunity to find a shot on goal. There's 1 second remaining, no time left on the clock. Cross tries to cross map, shot that ball, but it's stopped at midfield stride by Views. Touched by Boone. Wichita State, that almost would have gone in, but it did end up hitting the ground. Walk away, game 1 victory, 2-0.
2-0, pretty decisive at the end of the day. Even though that game sort of felt a little bit, even though it felt Wichita's favored, right? Because they end up winning it 2-0, obviously, right? We can all see the numbers.
I can count.
Yeah. We can all do that. It still felt like Missouri State had the ability to get a lot of the shots on net. It just seemed like a little bit of missed opportunities. I could see the vision with a lot of the touches and a lot of the passes they're going for. I just think Wichita State was playing a bit faster, and they were able to control the tempo a little bit more than, per se, the Bears were able to do. Agree with the Bears.
Honestly, I felt like it was more just like a missed connection on the follow-up because of how frequently that ball hit a crossbar. And sometimes it looked like the game just decided the physics were not in our favor and the geometry wasn't there. It would bounce out, but had there been that follow-up touch off the top crossbar, off the sidebar, it would have guaranteed a goal. It just unfortunately was not there. I can't fully tell if it's always Wichita State cutting in front of the offense in those situations, or if the follow-up is just, okay, we hit the top crossbar, defense is in front of us, let's just reset.
Yeah, totally fair. And I think also in that positioning-wise, I'm loving to see where that improvement comes to Wichita State, because I think they did that really well in terms of last game, and I want to see them continue to advance upon that. And I think that's one of the reasons why they find themselves in the position to score off the passing ability, because they find their teammates and themselves in really good position situations. A bit of a bump though, the backwards touch, Cross is looking for a shot, missed opportunity though, goes a bit wide. Bowen is able to take advantage though, gets demoed for it though. He's going to quickly capitalize on the free and empty ball control. Bit of a pinch there though from opposing sides. Bone trying to get over one, he's able to get it under Hobbs. Trying to get around Cross, not able to quite do it. Now it's up to Cap, gets one touch on the side. Bit of another pinch there. Bone might find themselves in a really good position here. Is there a teammate in the midfield that's able to receive it? Almost a shot on goal.
Kissed the goal line. It was flat, it was there. There was just a follow-up touch from a teammate. It would have gone in, but instead we got Cap, who's looking to go coast to coast and drops down on the goal line, bounces in, and that's goal number 1 for Wichita State.
Great ball control from the side of Cap here, even though, actually, oh wow, Bluevo unintentionally helped out that shot. I was wondering how it got all the speed it did there. Bit unfortunate, but you know, GG go next, especially in the time where you still have about 4 minutes left in the game. Cap is going to take over position of that ball. Bluevo now gets one. Look for the second there. Is able to get a second and a shot on net for it. Views is going to be credited for the save. Cross going for a second shot is going to be boxed out. And now Views once again with absolutely no boost is going to be able to play around to the side of it, still sticking up with it. Cap now take a shot on that. It might be a bit wide. It is. Bone's able to stick with it, get one more touch. Now Cap with a lot of room. A lot of, actually no boost to work with, but still sticking with it, being a menace. Bone takes the shot and Cap on the attempt to rotate out.
It happens to the best of us. It happens. You own goal, or you can accidentally block a goal from going in for your teammate. Take your pick. Do you want to own goal or accidentally stop one for your team? Personally, accidentally getting in my own teammate's passing lane for a shot, it happens. Still, the opportunity to find a goal here for Wichita State is not gone. Ball is yet to leave defensive third. It does lose a lot of speed. Does cross midfield stripe finally. Missouri is on the attack. It's immediately thwarted, sent right back to their defensive third. Ball crossing midfield stripe. It's going to be Pablo to make contact, tries to take a shot. Instead, it'll be Views to steal it away. Boone with possession. It's pinched up towards the ceiling. Cross and Hobbs pushing forward. Shot on goal is going to go way too wide. And the first one to make contact looks like it'll be Cross again to take a shot. It hits the crossbar, ricochets in. Missouri has put themselves on the board.
It's in the name. You gotta hit the crossbar and take the shot. Like, it's in the name. There's no way that's not gonna be, but a really well played shot at the end of the day, getting it behind the attacker, not playing back post, playing a little bit farther ahead, trying to cut off that midfield pass, and paying out for them in dividends. Cap was able to win the kickoff though. Hobbs is able to get to it. Get a little bit of 50 there. Now it's Kappas in midfield. Views gets a shot. Not too strong with shot. Boone was able to get the touch. Now the shot on net. Oh, hits the crossbar themselves. Cap is now on the defensive, trying to get a rotation here. Cross trying to get a pinch off the ceiling here. Cap sticking with it. Able to get over one. Able to get the 50 with Blue. Views now off the sidewall here. Boone trying to take the shot. Not able to quite get it. And now just a bit of a chaos happening here into the midfield and the sidewall.
Those of us that thrive in chaos, and I like to think of myself as one of them, and it looks like Views does as well. Plays the ball off the wall, gives it to Cap. Cap with a slight tippy touch, gives it to Boone. It's going to be sent back to midfield stripe by the Missouri State back line. However, Hobbs off the shot from Views, pops it up, it goes into the corner. Boone looking for an opportunity to push forward, regain control of the ball at midfield stripe. Instead, it has to be Views. Cuts in, plays it off the wall to themselves, takes a shot on net. It's going to be too wide. The follow from Cap is not going to make contact with the ball, as Missouri State has already regained possession. Going at midfield will have the ball pinched up near the ceiling, drops down, and it ends up with Cap.
Views is up and elevated, gets one touch. Hobbs is up. Not trying to get it. Cap is able to get one over the defensive player. Now it's up to Puvo, sorry. Gets the pinch there out to midfield. It could be dangerous though. Views had the shot opportunity. Is going to send it off to the sidewall though. Now it's up to Boone. Gets the big 50, gets the big 100. Now sticking with it, trying to get one more touch over Pluve. Is able to quite do it. Not able to stick with the pass though. But Cap takes it wide. The shot was there, just a bit outside, but Boone's able to stick with it. Able to get one touch into the sidewall here. Trying to be a little bit of an annoyance here, cause some chaos. Cap with not a lot of boost is able to get the 100, not able to get it over the Grizzly Bear attacker. Hobbs takes the shot. Actually, it was Cross to take the shot. Cap is going to be credited with a save there. That's Cap playing slow, able to get the flick over one as the final 20 seconds to wind down, still at a 1-1 game.
Boone with possession brings it to midfield stripe, but it's Fluvio who stops it as it enters Missouri's defensive third. It's in front of goal. Views tries to get the redirect. It does not have enough speed. Ends up going to midfield stripe. Hobbs with possession. This could be our golden goal before overtime, but before I can even finish my statement, we're out of time. Ball hits the ground. Golden goal. Whoever finds the first one walks away in game number 2 with victory.
Cross to a shot, quite not elevated enough. Fluvio set it down one. Now it's up to Cap. Cap gets a 50 into the midfield here. Hobbs is there, but Boone is elevated, able to get a touch. Stops the Grizzly Bear offense from progressing even more. Cap is able to get a bit of a touch here. Views now off to the midfield here. Boone takes a shot, and it's low, and it's around the only defender in the red goal. And that is going to be Wichita State taking game number 2. Now at match point.
We have yet to see a game officially wrap up at the third game, so I do not believe Missouri is anywhere near being out yet. But Wichita State, for our rookie squad, has shown up and demonstrated why they earned the ability to become an official NACE varsity team. They're doing a fabulous job thus far.
Oh, yeah.
Question is there anything you think Missouri can do to go on the counterattack here to handle Wichita State?
I mean, we saw them get one goal at the end of the day, so they equalized it and they kept it there, which is something they weren't able to quite do it in game number 1, so it's automatically an improvement that they made from game number 1. And quite honestly, I think the big thing that I see Wichita State do that I see Missouri State not able to do is either there's two things that I can see them do. Is they either cut off the passing into the midfield, which takes a bit of pre-planning and takes a little bit of game knowledge to get into the midfield, and getting that timing more than anything is super important in cutting off that midfield pass. Or two, end up doing it yourselves as well. They ended up getting that one goal they had off a pass, sort of, kind of, but I'd love to see the passing become more intentional from the side of the Grizzly Bears.
The give and the goes. You need to find the connections and clearly communicate those connections when they're happening. Well, this is a series point for Wichita State. If they win this game, that is it for both these teams for the evening. They can go get some dinner, do their homework, because of course we're all in school and that's important. Reminder to viewers if you have homework. And if not, Missouri State can send us into a Game 4 and possibly a Game 5. Best of luck to both these teams. You got 5 more minutes to battle it out to keep this series going.
This could be the chance for him to get the early lead. Not able to quite do it though. Boone is able to become the savior there. Send it over to Cap, and an unfortunate triple commit from the side of Missouri State ends up leading into a disastrous just, hey, I have more boost than you and there's nobody in the back of your net, so I'm just gonna drive it all the way back there. I really like the attempt, the aggressiveness by the side of the Grizzly Bears to get this early goal and get into the lead quickly, but whoever was that third man has got to stay back. Oh, the save is there, and the follow-up was not able to get as well. Cross and Obbs are going to be credited for the save in my mind. Cross able to get the pinch as well.
Missouri State just got saved by soccer rules, if I have ever seen it before. Every pixel of that ball must cross the line, and it got saved because of that. With that in mind, that was 2 situations where there was an overcommit from Missouri State that Wichita State almost completely managed to punish 3 times in a row. Missouri State needs to find the happy balance. We have a shot off the back wall views with the dunk down, double commit, both defenders in the air at the same time, threading the needle. That's another goal for the Shuckers.
Yeah, finding these really good 50-50 values is so important for the side of Wichita State. They're dominating this game right now, having a 2-goal lead because of that. We're barely 51 seconds into the game, and they're 2-0 as opposed to it. And Missouri State's got to get that rotation in check in terms of who's on the backboard, who's down below, and do we have the boost to really contest this and making sure those touches are quality, though. Oz is now trying to stick with it. Able to get 1 touch though. Cross is now elevated, looking to get the shot down. Boone is able to control it, gets bumped a little bit, is not able to get the clear here, but Cap is able to get the 1 touch over. Able to stick with it, possibly is able to get the touch off the backboard. The pre-jump by the side of Views is not going to be able to find the goal. As it was blocked out. Cross is now trying to get quick play off of it. Cap not able to get the touch they're looking for. Has the good boost to do it though. Boone is going to get an absolute boom of a clear. It's up to Bluvo. Is able to get a slight touch. It's really important for them to get a view here, or for them to get a solid clear. Cross is going to be able to have possession here. The demo though might relieve a lot of the control that Wichita State has right now.
Goes with possession, pops it up over Cap. Cap elevates for the challenge. It's in the corner. The double.
Oh!
You know what? It happens, Boone. Just like I said, accidentally blocking one of your teammates' shots, sometimes you might own goal the ball.
Oof, that is about the most unfortunate amount of luck I think we've seen so far in 3 games, 3 series that we've seen. But it's a 1-goal lead.
It is a 1-goal lead, but now we're crossing over into that 2-minute 30-second mark. And that territory, the second half of the match, is where it's really important to get and maintain a 2-goal lead. So it would have been a lot easier sailing right now for Wichita State had they not accidentally owned goals. However, they just play keep away, prevent Hobbs from barreling this ball down towards the net, and Pavlov's shot from going in, which they managed to do just that, finding the clear, sending it to midfield. Now in the defensive third for Missouri State, we have Boone battling it around 2. Cap will pop it up, look to continue forward. Double commit from both sides, ends up neutralizing the ball near the midfield mark. Goes off the back wall from Fluvio, who sends it right over to Hobbs. Hobbs redirects it, can't get the right angle. So Boone on elevation sends the ball back to midfield stripe where Cross and Views 50-50, neither one make contact. Fluvio pushes it back towards the defensive third for Wichita State, is unsuccessful on the initial shot, tries to find an opportunity to follow up. It looks like Cross may be able to take it. Instead, Cap beats anyone to the ball, brings it forward, pops it up, leaves it for Boone, who plays it deep into the corner, trying to get it to Views.
Fluvio now trying to make something happen, though. The unfortunate pinch leaves into midfielder. Cap is patiently waited, goes there, flipper set, is able to get one off the crossbar, though. Crossy's best defender. Now it's Hobbs. Loses control of the ball. Unfortunately, Boone was able to play a bit of defense, is still being an absolute wall. And what looked like an utter amount of uncontrol of the car ended up being a masterful play. Cross is able to get the touch around the offensive side of Wichita State. Now it's Cap trying to get a defensive player, sends it into the corner, gets it under one, opts not to go. This could be a dangerous situation here. Hobbs is sitting in the back of the net. Luckily for them, there was no real shot attempt at the end of the day. And now 1 minute and 8 seconds into this game, Wichita State still holds the lead. This could be the game changer. The crossbar Views with the defense. Wichita State keeps it alive and keeps it at a one goal advantage here at match point.
Right now, this crossbar from both teams has been presenting unbeatable defense. But I need to see this in the replay because I'm not going to say anything until it's confirmed. But I think I think tragedy struck at this moment. Oh, no, okay, that was Cap. It was Cap and it was Boone. All good. That was actually a beautiful give and go from the corner.
I thought it played off of Hobbs' car.
Even if it did, I'm going to say Cap hit it.
Okay, valid. I guess so. We'll keep it there. I honestly think that was the Rocket League gods paying back for forcing Boone to be in the bad position there and get the own goal.
As well as the accidentally blocking my own teammate. Yep. Well, we have Views try to take a shot and make sure that they get their own goal without an assist. Fortunately, that wish goes unanswered at midfield stripe. We have 30 seconds remaining. Boone loses out to Hobbs, who is now putting the gas pedal to the floor, trying to go as fast as possible. Put Missouri State just a little bit further forward. They need to find 2 goals. 15 seconds, not impossible, but improbable. Yes, it's a very difficult task for anyone to try to undertake. This is the end-all be-all. Missouri State, though, can look for a goal-scoring opportunity, that morality boost, close that goal deficit between these two teams. But it looks like we are going to be out of time. No, the ball is pitched back up near the ceiling. Cross tries to make the shot, and it would have been an open goal. Missouri, that was so close to finding another goal for your team. But congratulations, Wichita State. You guys will walk away of your first game of the season with a 3-0 victory.
Sharks are going to walk away with 3-0. And as much as we were able to say the first 2 teams, it really was one of the things of that first series of the game, or the first series of the day. You were the first to take it all 5 games, first to catch the W, right? But now it's really that Wichita State's the first on broadcast to 3-0 it.
They got to demonstrate. Plus, it's their first time in general being on the NACE Varsity broadcast.
That's right. We set that narrative early in the beginning of this series that last time it really was the vet that beat the rookie, but this time around it was the reverse. It was the rookie beating the vet, and you know I'm always one to go for the underdog, so
I'm fine with the underdog. I understand. Wichita State, congratulations on your guys' first official NACE on broadcast victory. That was very nice to watch. We look forward to seeing more action. We have one more series to go, but first we're going to take a quick break so everyone can get ready to go and set up, and we can grab some water, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
welcome back to the NACE Star League studio. We have just one game left in our Rocket League lineup for today, and it is going to be Colorado College versus North Dakota State. We are very excited to get into the match. I'm your host again, Jacob Jem Palmer, and I am joined by Artemis Nerdy Bird Ray. Nerdy, we saw a bit of a change of pace in the last game too. We saw our first 3-0 game, whereas the first two games went the longest. So Colorado College, North Dakota State, I'm going to give you a chance to call it. How long do you think we're going?
I'm going to pull a doc and say at least 4 games.
Okay, at least 4. I think that's fairly safe in terms of the general way that you want to try to hedge your bets. If you want to know where we are in the overall proceedings here today, though, let's take a look back at how we got here. Our schedule for the day, we started out with Shenandoah going up against George Mason. They won that one. George Mason won that one 3-2. And then we had Lackawanna versus Harrisburg. That one was 3-2, although we had an extremely long overtime that essentially made it 6 games long. And then we had Missouri State versus Wichita State. Wichita State picked up the win there, 0-3. And now we move on to Colorado College versus North Dakota State. It has been a long road here, but these two teams are ready to battle it out. Let's see who's on those two teams, though, with our roster. And Nerdy, why don't you go over the rosters for these two teams?
So for Colorado College, we have Nuki, and Slime to Lime rounding out that roster. And then for the side of North Dakota State, we're going to have Heat Assassin, Remsick, and T-Cool for their 3-man roster. But one thing I want to mention, I want to circle back to it. Wichita State, our first 3-0 of the night. I'm not saying that's out of the cards, but because they're the newest team out of all of the ones that we have here tonight, I think they came and they're like, we have to make a statement. So the 3-0 was the only option to make said statement. Now, if any team, out of these two teams, I would say North Dakota really wants to come out on top, and they might be hungry to do a quick 3-0, but ultimately it's going to be up to how they perform in the next 5 minutes. I think that'll tell us who is definitely going to be more successful, so to speak, for the remainder of the series.
Well, we've only got one game left before we close and sign out for the night, and we're going to get to that game as soon as we can. Best of 5, and what do you think overall, because you've been here for kind of the short games, the 3-0 sweep, and then you've been here for the very long games that we had the 2 games right. What do you think is kind of the main differential? What is it about a team and how they play that drives us to long overtime games?
I feel like the long overtime games are, there's 2 aspects. There is very balanced team play, but then there's the other aspect is a team not adjusting to counter the strengths or the weaknesses that they see coming out from the other team. And when you're not doing that, it stays very even. It doesn't put one team a little bit further forward than the other one, and it's a photo finish, so to speak. So when 2 teams are too equally matched, it drags on for a long time, and they need to be quicker on making those adjustments, being a little bit more unpredictable, and focusing on rotating those aspects into their gameplay rather than just going with what they know best, because at that point, everyone's doing it.
All right, we're off to the first kickoff of the final game of the night, and is already making a huge play. Slime, I thought Slime would follow up, but he moves off to the side. Colorado is just going to slow play this. Now Nuki trying to move in. Slime follows up, but the shots are a bit high. They bounce off the crossbar. That might give North Dakota State some time to go back and get a goal, but it is deflected by Slime at the last moment.
Slime was like right at the top of the crossbar, kissing the wall to make sure that flick was at the right angle to get it out. Now we have Heat Assassin from midfield getting challenged by Slime to Lime. It's sent to K-Tool, who is at the defensive third, brings it across midfield stripe. It's at Remsick, still inside North Dakota State's territory. Remsick will do the redirect, but stops the ball before it hits that goal line.
Minute into the match, and we've yet to score from either team. K-Tool now going to try to center it. Remsick follows up, but the shot is very wide off to the corner. So no major shots on goal coming out. In fact, if we look at the score feeds, we've only had 2. That's from Remsick. He's been the one making the moves. Maybe he can make a third right now. It's deflected down toward the ground. Slime intercepts it, pushes it to the corner. And both these teams having a really hard time centering things up.
K-Tool plays it around 1. Reads the play like a book, sends it back up. In the corner, attempting to corral it around 2 defenders. Gonna have to have Nuki come in, play it off the back wall. Unfortunately, Sunderland did not rotate forward fast enough, so this is an opportunity for North Dakota State to get this ball out of their half of the field. Remsick, the one that we've seen make those plays so far with little success, has the opportunity to set up another play for their team. K-Tool in the corner has come to help out their teammate. Ball is pinched back towards midfield stripe. Heat Assassin comes in to prevent it from fully crossing that line. Remsick racing back to get possession. Unfortunately, it'll be Heat Assassin and K-Tool to find the give, the go, and that is the first goal in for North Dakota State.
And this was kind of a fatal error you also see from Colorado. You see both Ya and Slime commit on this, both go charging toward the ball, leaving absolutely no one there once the shot goes through. So North Dakota State is going to go up to the lead, 1-0. Slime gets the better of that kickoff. We'll see if he can turn it around. K-Tool moving up toward the goal. Nuki with the save. And now Colorado College looking for a clear. They are managing to chase the ball to the other side of the field. The question is, can they put a shot on goal? Because they haven't been able to do that this whole game.
They've got 2 minutes and roughly 30 seconds to find the opportunity to make a shot on goal. Perhaps they need to shut someone else down or focus on some more passing plays here. We have Remsick attempt to make a touch, but Heat Assassin beats their teammate to the ball. It is going to be sent to midfield stripe. Ya elevates. Ball glides across the top of the ceiling. The redirect from Nuki, and just like Jem was talking about, we finally have Colorado College put a goal on the board. We are tied 1-1 with about half of game 3 left.
Well, it took a while for the shot to go through, but if it's a quality one like that, I am not complaining one bit. They find the equalizer. Their first shot on goal is their first goal. And now with 2 minutes, 19 seconds left, we basically have a new game on our hands. Heat Assassin moving in to set it up for Remsick.
It's almost like they heard you.
Yeah, they wanted to get back into the lead as soon as possible. That is just, you talk about the give and go, that's just give and go right away. I mean, they were not waiting 1 second for it. It's always exciting when you see those goals happen on the first play after the kickoff.
Heat Assassin again in the corner. He's gonna go, Nuki cuts in, steals the ball away, circumvents almost all 3 defenders. It's gonna be Remsick to make the ultimate save, but Ya dunks it back down in front of the net. There's a follow-up opportunity coming from Nuke. It glides to the top left corner. Slime to lime is the tertiary touch. And after all 3 members made contact with that ball, it is another goal in.
Remsick finds himself in an awkward position, kind of blocked by his own post. So he can't get up to challenge that ball. It goes in. Colorado College just seems to be a team that's happy to lay in wait. They make less shots on goal than North Dakota State, but when they do make a shot, they've been able to very consistently turn them into goals. We'll see if this one turns into a goal. It does. Remsick once again, another goal. That's his 2nd of the game.
At this rate, I do foresee this going into overtime, and I apologize for your vocal cords, but I'm not sorry for the teams that are playing. You came here to compete, so you better be able to throw down. That being said, we got 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining. Colorado College wanting to find that equalizer goal. There's still plenty of time right now to find... Oh, yeah, I really thought that was going to go in. I was going to let you have the moments of glory. However, Slime to Lime trying to corral it around 1 has Nuke, who's decided to take the path of aggression, bodied the last defender out of the goal in our previous play. He's going to elevate, cannot make contact. Remsick carries it over 1, can't carry it over the 2nd. Heat Assassin plays it to the top crossbar. The follow-up is going to be from K-Tool. Remsick waiting for the opportunity to prevent the clear from coming out from Ya. Collides with Ya. Ball drops down at midfield stripe as Heat Assassin plays it off the wall to themselves. Slime to line elevates, pushes the ball back to midfield stripe. K-Tool trying to play it off the back wall, looking for a teammate. That teammate is going to be Heat Assassin. There's nobody home at the last second. Defender comes in to make the save, and the crossbar, the ever so steadfast, absolute defense that comes in clutch sometimes.
Heat Assassin gets the goal, pushing North Dakota State to a 2-goal lead. And one thing I was noticing is it seemed like Colorado was really wanting for boost there. I mean, you see 2 members pushed up a little bit too far, but they don't have the boost to get back there. It seemed like for the last 30 seconds or so, most of their team members were below 50% boost. I think Slime to Lime was really the only one who consistently was having near 100.
Boost management is something that's very important to keep an eye out on. Sometimes that's not the fault. Remsick, okay, let me have my teaching moment, but let you enjoy your hat trick. Remsick coming in with another goal, but Boost, if you're not managing it well, it can be, the one side effect can be, you know, we're seeing a team that does not have a lot of boost. However, another side effect of that can cause that is the idea that the other team is boost starving. If we keep a little bit more eye on these corner boosts as well as the penny pads, we might actually see that one team is boost starving the living daylights out of the other, because it does look like Slime to Lime right now, and Yud, nothing in their tank, as we have Yud make a save on Remsig's shot. Heat Assassin says, okay, my turn. Slime to Lime said, no, I'm taking it to midfield. Remsig is going for another shot on goal, tries to go for the flip reset, can't make contact with the ball. Follow-up from their teammate also was a whiff. Nuke now looking to outplay Heat Assassin, pops it up. Heat Assassin reads it, drags it down into the corner. 3 seconds remaining. Yud tries to take another shot. Remsig makes the save, and that is a game going to North Dakota State.
Overall, the greater amount of shots on goal worked out in their favor was reflected in the score. And if you're talking about so many of those shots on goal, I gotta say Remzik is like consistently making these very quick, fast shots. It's not like he's completely up toward the goal, nor is he in midfield. He's off to the very side and is consistently finding these perfect redirects, just laser aimed right at the center of the goal. And I think Colorado's just having a little bit of trouble trying to react so quickly to how fast he can put a shot on goal.
It is a little bit like a snake in the grass. And when you have a player that is that methodical about what they're doing, really analyzes everything that's going on, almost like the point guard in basketball, it's kind of scary because that person is calling the shots and being the playmaker, but is not letting you recognize the fact that I'm about to make contact with this ball, but I've been chilling out by midfield so long, you forgot about me, because object permanence does not exist when it comes to esports
It's like
players.
when you're going up against a chess player who's really good at using their bishops, and you're forgetting all the diagonal plays that can come out. Remzik is like the diagonal shot king of this game so far. We're going to move into game 2, see if Colorado College can find their footing or if North Dakota State will be moving on to match point. Just about ready to head into the second game, and here we go. First kickoff is going to head over to the side. K-Tool to follow up, trying to get an initial bit of side control, but it's shot back by Colorado College. Yud to follow up, gets it taken away from him before he can even make the shot. Now the ball is high up in the air. North Dakota State winning that 50 and gaining a whole lot of territory off of it. We'll see if Nuki with the pass to Yud can get a goal. It's a bit too high. Nuki tries the follow-up, but Remzik right there when you need him denies him the shot.
Yud sends the ball to the wall, is trying to keep possession, flicks it, attempts to get it to Nuki. Nuki is challenged by Heat Assassin's pinched up. Slime to Lime must elevate, as does Yud to make a save on Heat Assassin's shot. Remzik chooses to take out Slime to Lime. Defense is hurting for a little bit of time. K-Tool has the ball drop down off the ceiling, ends up with the newly respawned Slime to Lime. Remzik loses possession. Heat Assassin pushes the ball into the back left corner. Defensive territory for Colorado College. Heat Assassin again pops it up off that backboard. Nuki plays it to midfield. Remzik, who's elevated, gets the flip reset, but can't continue to maintain possession of the ball. Loses it in the corner. We have Yud looking for an opportunity to find a clear. Is thwarted by Heat Assassin, but Nuki turns it around, breaks it to midfield stripe, where it lands with Remzik.
Slime to Lime now elevating up, but he has no one to pass it to. Nuki now comes in and is going to get him the territory that he was looking for. Now they're going to try to center it with Slime to Lime looking for the shot. Nuki hanging back. But North Dakota State is so good at stopping these shots on goal before they can even go through. There's only been one credited to Colorado College thus far. Now Yud is going to try to keep the play going. He gets demoed by Heat Assassin, living up to his name. Now K-Tool with a shot on goal. Nuki with the block.
No.
The ball is
Oh,
high.
no.
Up for grabs. Slime gets there first with his elevation.
And to touch on it, only Nuki and only Heat Assassin have shots on goal credited to them. So both teams are struggling to find these opportunities. We have Remzik pinch the ball off the side. Yud will toss it to midfield stripe. It goes into the defensive third for North Dakota State, where K-Tool volleys it back. It looks like Slime to Lime will be able to pinch it back out, but instead we have Yud get demoed. Heat Assassin, in the heat of the moment, finds the first goal for game number 2.
And this is a perfect example of cause and effect. You clear out the goalie, since Slime had already committed onto that one, was repositioning, so the one to rotate in got demoed, leaving North Dakota State with a wide open goal to score on. Now they have a slim lead, but a lead nonetheless. Looks like they're heading toward a match point possibly.
You can't count before they hatch. We still have over 2 minutes here in game number 2. North Dakota has possession of the ball, but they are in their own territory, possibly looking to reset the play completely. They'll lose possession to Ya. Gets cleared out by Heat Assassin. Nuke from midfield pops the ball up. It kisses the ceiling. Slime to Lime elevates, beating anyone to the ball. And that's going to be our equalizing goal coming out from Slime to Lime from Colorado.
And so much of what has allowed North Dakota State to stay ahead of Colorado is denying them these shots. But if Colorado has the shot wide open, they're showing that they have the accuracy and the skill to constantly put them onto North Dakota State's goals. So I really think the key strategy for North Dakota State going forward is just what Remzik did so well last game, is getting in their plays and intercepting the ball.
Remzik off the rebound from top crossbar, trying to make a play from midfield to the back wall. Does not work out. Ya takes a shot. Defender barely makes it back in time. It was Remzik to make the save. Ball is not out of North Dakota State territory just yet. It is at the midfield where Ya sends it back to Slime to Lime in the corner. Slime is too flat against the goal, has to give it to Nuke. Nuki unfortunately collides with K-Tool. Balls goes to midfield stripe. Heat Assassin pushes it into the corner. Looks for a teammate. That teammate is too close and it ends up with Slime to Lime pinching the ball near the ceiling. Remzik takes the shot. Lower left corner and it's good. North Dakota State puts themselves in the lead by 1 with a score of 2.
Yeah, this had to be aimed just perfectly as Ya is coming in, and he just had to thread the needle between the front post and the goal. And it was well aimed. North Dakota State back in the lead with 1.5 minutes left in this game.
I'm going to keep it a buck. That was a real good shot. However, we've got 90 seconds to see another real good shot come out from Colorado College to equalize it. Let's see if they can. Ya almost did it. Can we have another opportunity from Nuki? Never mind, it's Slime to Lime, and we are equalized just under the 90-second mark.
I have to see the replay on this because it seems like Remzik was trying so hard to be able to twist around and just get one slight little touch, but wasn't able to do it. And so now all that momentum, North Dakota State, they're back to square one. Colorado College has been so good at just very quickly finding goals to even up the game. They're gonna have one of their players, Ya, demoed by Heat Assassin, and Nuki just charging right up center field. Gonna try to set up a goal opportunity for Slime. He puts it in there, and Colorado College is in the lead, and Slime has a hat trick.
During this replay, you might be able to see it. Nuki in this corner steals the mega boost, preventing K-Tool from having the speed necessary to come in contact with this shot on goal from Slime to Lime. That was calculated. That is what good boost serving looks like. Nicely done.
Now we just have 1 minute left to decide it all, and Slime puts himself in a great position post kickoff. He's gonna try to position it toward the goal. It runs right into the front post and it's cleared back. K-Tool with a quick shot off on the recontest is gonna be able to, isn't able to equalize this at all. So now with 45 seconds left, North Dakota State still facing the pressure.
North Dakota only has to find 1 goal, which at this point is not out of the cards. They are all in front of the Colorado College defense. However, they lost the speed necessary. Ya with possession in the corner, brings it almost to midfield. Remzik pushes it back into that corner where Nuki was waiting. K-Tool takes a shot. It's going to be too wide. It ends up with Ya, rolls off the ceiling. Heat Assassin comes in for the assassination strike. And that is our equalizer. We are tied 3-3 with 18 seconds left on the clock.
Looking, yeah, Nuki commits on that. Slime is just juked out. If he had elevated up there, maybe there would have been a chance. He had the boost to do so. But ultimately, now North Dakota State might just drive this to an overtime. Nuki trying to keep that from happening right off the bat. Yeah, gets demoed, a quick shot, goes in for Heat Assassin. He finds a hat trick. That is insane. That's from way downtown, past the midfield mark. And I think that demo that they put onto Colorado College, onto Ya, I believe, was a contributing factor to that.
You lose sight during the plume of smoke. My brain is melting, honestly, at that play. We have the ball bounce down right in front of the goal line, gets sent wide. Does get dunked down. North Dakota College will walk away with a Game 2 victory and put themselves at series point. Now, I did predict 4 games, but right now North Dakota is trying to say, no. We're in North Dakota time. 3 games only, and we go to bed.
Well, here's the thing, is there are so many times that this happens, is a game might end 3-0, and I'm not saying it's going to end 3-0, because Colorado College is showing the skill. I mean, they were matching North Dakota State shot for shot,
Most
but I'm
definitely.
just saying if, a big if. There are so many times where you look at a score, it's currently 2-0. If it were to go 3-0, that does not capture how competitive this has been. There can be 3-0s where both of the teams, it was down to the very last minute. And Colorado College, if there's one thing I have to commend them for, it is how quickly they get equalizing shots. It was in the first game. It's in the second game. North Dakota State makes a goal. Colorado is right there with a goal 10, 20 seconds later. I mean, they are not letting North Dakota State University have any room to breathe after they get a small lead.
Honestly, I think North Dakota is actually changing things up just a little bit to give them that leg up, the extra inch, so to speak, because in those final seconds, when we had those goals that put them in the lead and stabilized said lead, it was less Heat Assassin being the physically aggressive player who became the playmaker and less of a facilitator, and then we had Remsick, who went from being that playmaker to being the facilitator and taking on the, okay, I will be your bodyguard role.
This could be the last game of the night. If North Dakota State wins, or we could be going even farther. That's a great block by Ya. It would have definitely turned into a shot on goal had he not been there. Remsick is credited with the first shot on goal of the game. The ball is still in midfield and up for grabs by any team. Slime trying to carry this with the dribble. It bounces off the crossbar, off of himself into the goal.
Hang on. I think there might have been some interference here from one of the North Dakota players that might have helped. Yeah, right on it. It happens. You're not the first one to do it today. Right off their hood. Whoopsies.
4 minutes, 30 seconds. And North Dakota State is now going to find themselves trailing to start off the game in a position they haven't found themselves in for the first two games. And now we'll see how Colorado College does, if they can build up a good cushion for themselves. Ya takes a shot from way back, follows it up with the second touch, but Heat Assassin beats him to it, credited with the save, and now the ball is still looking for a goal. Colorado College tries a follow-up. Remsick takes it away from them past the midfield marker, is now going to move off the side. And Slime, where did you even come from?
That was very sneaky. Ball is now in defensive third for North Dakota State. It is in Slime to Lime possession. Can Slime to Lime make contact with the back of the net? Slime to Lime shall not, because the ball got spiked towards the ceiling in a 50-50. It's Ya's opportunity. Pops it high off that top crossbar. Unfortunately, the plan of sending it to Nuki won't work out, as there was a double commit from the defenders to make sure that Nuki did not have an open goal opportunity. Now we have Heat Assassin send the ball across the midfield stripe. It ends up with Ya, and also Slime to Lime is there as well. Remsick takes the shot between two North Dakota State players. Finds the back of the goal, apologies, between two Colorado College players, and finds the first goal for their team.
I mean, that's been his calling card. These completely accurate shots, whether he needs to shoot it between two players or a post and a player. He is deadly accurate on those types of shots. Now the next kickoff. Heat Assassin was just waiting to cheat after that kickoff. He's going to be able to gain a whole bunch of territory for North Dakota State. They try the follow-up, but Colorado is right there to beat him to it. Blocks the shot, and now going to try to find a clear of their own, but Remsick has other plans. He elevates up, is uncontested Slime waiting on the wall, push a shot back to midfield. Nuki whips on the follow-up, however. That allows Heat Assassin to pass over to Remsick toward the goal, and off of the crossbar and Slime.
Man, if K-Tool just had the speed behind them to take that shot, there was nobody home for Colorado College. It would have been right then North Dakota could have put themselves in the lead. Instead, Slime to Lime is going to cut in, doing too much fancy aerial work, can get a little predictable. Ball got stolen away. Remsick sends the ball to midfield stripe. Slime to Lime, again, someone who's reading a lot of these passes and clears like a book, sends it to the back wall. Ya and Remsick both elevate. Neither one make good contact. Slime to Lime centers the ball back up towards the midfield stripe to allow Ya to take a shot. K-Tool, can you read it? Can you read the follow-up touch? No one's going to have the tertiary. Remsick cannot make contact, and Heat Assassin find the opportunity to find it clear. It's a dunk down from Remsick towards the net. It hits the top crossbar. Heat Assassin has it. Heat Assassin cannot redirect. Ya putting on too much pressure at the midfield.
We have 2 minutes left, and it is coming down to the wire. Yeah, elevates up to push it off to the side, leaves it for Nuki to keep moving up the field, but Heat Assassin has his own plans, pushes a shot toward the backboard. It bounces way back toward midfield where K2 is waiting. He has to play it around Nuki. Nuki runs right into him. Can Remzik keep the play going? He passes the Heat Assassin, shot off to the front post. Heat Assassin trying to follow up just to wiggle it on in there. And North Dakota State is back to a lead.
Ooh, okay. You mentioned that it was something they're not used to, at least as far as the series goes. And it really felt like that not having that lead to start and then also having to find this equalizer made them uncomfortable because of how long it took them to find this one goal to put them in the lead. We still have 2 minutes and 35 seconds left, but we're getting close to where it gets a little sweaty if you're not 2 goals in the lead already.
K2 was demoed right off of the kickoff, and that's allowing Colorado College to put a whole bunch of pressure and a shot on goal onto North Dakota State. It was bounced off the crossbar, however, so North Dakota State still has a slight lead. Once again, the crossbar at the follow-up. How does that not go in?
Oh my gosh!
Heat Assassin, you are a brick wall right now, just when North Dakota State needs it.
Heat Assassin also assassinated a couple people on that goal line, preventing them from being able to play the disruption that they wanted to go. But we have Slime to Lime in the air, bringing it from midfield stripe down into the goal area. All the efforts were thwarted. Remzik pinches it off of one of the Colorado College players, brings it into the defensive third for the side of Colorado College. Heat Assassin looking for an opportunity to set up a teammate. Unfortunately, it has lost the shot on goal. Wide cleared back into North Dakota State territory, where unfortunately Nuki gets demoed by Remzik.
They did it again. They can't they do it onto the open goal? K2 finds it. Are you kidding me? After all the work that Colorado put into it, it's gonna end like this on an open goal.
Honestly, it came down to we had Slime to Lime elevated to go for the challenge. That is fine. They're the midfielder. The forwards then were starting to rotate back. They just couldn't rotate back fast enough. Getting caught in rotation happens in almost every single game there is.
I also say something that's not helping with this game is these teams tend to score demos right at the time where it blocks our view of everything. And we're just waiting to see if a goal was scored or not. It's happened multiple times this game.
They're using it like a smoke grenade in CS, and it's making me uncomfortable.
That's a good strategy there.
Most definitely.
Well, right now, North Dakota State is just going to bask in glory. They have won this one 3-0. But Colorado College, I mean, I have to hand it to you. I said it during one of the breaks, and I'll say it one more time. 3-0 does not tell the whole story of this game. For the vast majority of the match, Colorado College was matching North Dakota State shot for shot. So great job to teams all around. Congratulations to North Dakota for winning this in the end. So overall, Nerdy, that brings us to the very end of the night. And what a night it was to start things off for the NACE season.
I need a nap.
I think, well,
I need a nap.
Thank you for toughing it out with us. I also want to give a thank you to Colin Risky-Majunkin for joining us through the mid-games. He did a great job as well. And another thank you to all of our sponsors at Truth, Monster Energy, Dunkin', Extra Life, and Odyssey Elixir. Thank you so much to all of the sponsors. And thank you to joining us out there. If you want to catch more Rocket League, you'll join us back here next week at the same time. But tomorrow, we're going to have NACE Overwatch kicking things off. And you're definitely going to want to tune in for that. For now, though, for tonight, thank you for watching. Have a great night. Stay safe.
I hope I did that in the right camera.
There isn't going to be a follow-up on that one. Look at this dribble, this hero play by Mango to tie it up. 1.5 minutes left. Wow, that is insane. Perks comes in, a valiant play to try to save it, but it just gets spiked down into the ground, and now we're tied.
The rest of the way, Khazi tries to make a shot, but the ball is stolen away by Perks.
A lead shot on goal, past Mango, and finds his hat trick. We are seeing a return to form for the Patriots. In the first game, they scored a hat trick against the Hornets, and now they're doing
A bit of fancy footwork in mid-air, so to speak. Trying to find a clear for himself, but Aoka just shuts the door right in his face on that possibility. Next attempt.
attempts to get this touch, trying to control it, trying to save them a bit of the time, unfortunately for them.
Volleys it back. It looks like Slam the Line will be able to pinch it back out, but instead we have Yaga demoed. Heat Assassin, in the heat of the moment, finds the first goal for game number 2.
And this is a perfect example of cause and effect. You clear out the goalie, since Slime had already committed onto that one, was repositioning, so the one to and that's allowing Colorado College to put a whole bunch of pressure and a shot on goal onto North Dakota State. It was bounced off the crossbar, however, so North Dakota State still has a slight lead. Once again, the crossbar at the follow-up. How does that not go in?
Oh my gosh!
Heat Assassin, you are a brick wall right